Hello, and good evening. Hope you're all doing okay. I hope you're well. Ah, guys, I'm back again. I know this week I seem to have been streaming nearly every day. Wow, this is like a marathon. But saying that, I wouldn't be here tomorrow, and the day after, I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. But it's always good to be back here streaming. And this time around, this is a subject that not the sort of thing I usually would cover, but this guy has been in the news, and my goodness, it is he has just been making the rounds, hasn't he? So let's have a look. And guys, hey, hello everyone. That voice is you, you, you know why. You know. Ah, that voice. Okay, no, someone's first. How many people are first? We got that voice is ASMR and Ian Davenport. So it's a very stiff battle between the two of them. Ian Davenport, damn. How's everyone doing today? I hope you all are doing well. Hidden Tech Gems, good to see you. Guess who's back? Yes, back again. Esther's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Do, do, do. Hey, Hidden Tech Gems. Oh, good to see you, Danisha. Oh, look at that beautiful lady. Hey, Danisha Freeman, how are you? Bodyline, hello. Hello, Esther. I'm the best creative. Are you, Bodyline? The best says, I am the best creative. I love the confidence. I am the best creative. I love the sound of that. That voice is. Mm-hmm. I've got my eyes on you. I don't know whether I feel bad for him or not. At some point, he could have asked himself if he really believes the crazy things he has said. Hmm, it's problematic, some of the things that he has said. And guys, let me just put this out. Whatever I say here are my opinions. I'm entitled to my opinions. I can speak my opinions as long as I'm being respectful. I'm being, when you're trying to get your voice out there, there's a way to be diplomatic as well as speak your opinions, right? There's a way to have conversations without being overly insensitive. Okay, so anything I do say here are my opinions, and I intend to speak my opinions. Because this man, yes, he's a rich man, but there's a lot of things going wrong. There's a lot of things, and I feel like a lot of people are just giving him a pass. Maybe because he's rich, or maybe because he's black, or what. I don't know what exactly, but no, people like himself should not be allowed to espouse the things that he's been going on about. It's dangerous. It's really dangerous because someone like himself could have a following. People like himself would have people that would just feed on everything he says. Mm. As long as it was not Steve. Oh, Steve McRae manager. Oh God. It's true. You're quite right. Today we've got that voice's ASMR. It's usually Steve. As long as it's not Steve. Never mind. Don't say anything just yet. Steve will soon just before you know it, he'll be here. I have no competition. Oh, no competition. Okay. Lilith, Talufa, everyone, Lilith. Okay. I'm Kanye West. Oh, he said that. Hmm. Check to see if I'm on the right microphone. Okay, hang on. Have a look. Wait, hang on. Let's just make sure everything's working okay. Okay, microphone's on. Okay, good. Okay, just give me 1 second. Let me check my microphone. Okay, no, I'm not on the right microphone. Something's wrong. I'm not on the right microphone. Just 1 second, guys. Okay, that one's on. Then, um, hmm. Okay, just give me 1 second. Something. I was trying something out, but I think I need to. That's that one. Is that better? How is that? Is that better? I am Kanye West. Do you hear me now, guys? Please let me know you can hear me okay. And then we will get started. Where's Phil? Phil has gone to his cardio appointment, but he'll be here soon. So that's great. Okay, thank you. While Esther does that, I would look for the like button. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and look for the like button. Okay, let's get started with this person called he's changed his name again. His name is now Ye. Next minute he's Yeezy. Next minute his name's changed. He's now just Ye. Y-E. All right. Okay, so what exactly has been going on with Kanye West recently? What's the hype about? So earlier this month, Kanye West tweeted to say, listen to this, guys. He tweeted and said that he's going DEFCON 3. I don't know what DEFCON 3 is. Some of you gamers would know. I don't know. But whatever that is, doesn't sound good. Death Con 3, probably one of those violent games. So he's going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. Before alleging that he wasn't anti-Semitic, because black people are actually Jew also. Black people are Jews. Since when? This when I heard this, I was like, okay, this is sounding like those black Hebrew Israelite people. But never mind. Let's see. We'll carry on further. He added that you guys have toyed with me and tried to blackball anyone, whoever opposes your agenda. When they start using those buzzwords, agenda, uh, use the race card, they use all sorts of things. My people, you're trying to do this to my people. I'm fighting for my people. I'm doing this for my people. Mm, mm, mm. Since the post has since been removed, it came after he accused the record producer Sean Diddy Combs of being controlled by the Jewish people. So, Sean, that's Diddy, Puff Daddy, we used to call him back in those days, is being controlled by the Jewish people. And what was the reaction? Many people condemned his remarks, and several brands have distanced themselves from him. Adidas, not Adidas. Adidas has ended its lucrative partnership with Kanye, and they have announced that production of the popular Yeezy line would stop immediately, after which he dropped out of Forbes' billionaire list. The clothing company Gap, which terminated its tie with West in September, is also taking immediate steps to remove Yeezy Gap products from its stores. Talent agency CAA and the Balenciaga fashion house have also ditched the 45-year-old, and a completed documentary about West has been shelved. Spotify chief executive Daniel Ek said West's comments were awful, but that his music would stay on the platform. In an incident at a Skechers corporate office in LA, West was escorted off the premises after he showed up unannounced and uninvited. In a statement, the US footwear company said he had turned up and engaged in unauthorized filming. Madame Tussauds in London has also removed its artwork of the star from public view. West was also restricted from posting, commenting, and messaging on Instagram, and had his account locked on Twitter. Listen, this guy is just canceling himself. In response, he said he would buy social media platform Parler, which pitches itself as a viewpoint neutral social media app dedicated to freedom of expression, civil discourse, and user privacy. He's got plenty of money, so maybe he can. So his ex-wife has also condemned his comments, posting on Instagram saying, hate speech is never okay or excusable. I stand together with the Jewish people and call on the terrible violence and hateful rhetoric towards them to come to an immediate end. So in 2020, she opened up about him and his struggles with bipolar disorder. So he has a diagnosis of bipolar. And she said those who are close with Kanye know his heart and understand his words sometimes do not align with his intentions. Okay. Whew. Right, guys. Hey, Beach, Henry M. Kanye will soon be seen in Moscow. Doing what? Ms. Masani, hello. West has been shunned. But he has done this to himself. He has done this to himself. He's done this to himself. Hey, Archbishop Richard Foreskin, hello. Okay, guys, what is this idea of black people being Jewish? Can someone tell me what's this? Why do some people believe that black people are Jewish? What exactly? Why are people scrambling to be called Jewish? What is it exactly makes people want to identify as Jewish? As far as I know, the Jewish people are a group of people. Most were displaced. Some have found their way back to their homeland, and they're always in war with the other neighboring country over a small piece of land that borders both countries. Keep fighting among themselves. Other countries join in to support one side, and other countries will support it's just been a very problematic uh scene around that area. But still yet some black people will give anything to be identified as Jew. In fact, some black people right now have packed their bags, packed their families, and they're in Israel because they believe that somehow that land belongs to them, the black people. I don't understand all of that, but the lost tribes stuff. Exactly, Beach. I don't understand it. I've been told that someone has said to me, "Oh, but you because you're black, you're one of the chosen people, and you're I'm like, hang on, please. I don't know anything about that. I'm not trying to be something I'm not. Mm. No, this is not the one with the parrots. No, Ian Davenport. No, no, this is not parrots. This is the well, I bought them at exact same times, exact same store. So this one has flowers, the other one has the parrots on. So no, very similar, but no, they got exact same style. You really, you got your eyes are very sharp. Mm. So no, this is not the one with the parrots on. Because the Jews are the favorites in the Bible. Okay, guys, what does it mean to be anti-Semitic? When they say someone's anti-Semitic, let's see. Anti-Semitic. What does that mean to be anti-Semitic? To be hostile or to be prejudiced against the Jewish people. So to be hostile or to be prejudiced against the Jewish people. Okay. Right. That's what that means. Okay. Let's go and see. So Kanye West had an interview recently. Now, what I've done, I've got the video and I've put pictures over the top. I just tried to change it around and mix and match different scenes because of copyright. So it's an interview that he had with Piers Morgan. Is that his name? Piers Morgan, right? So let's go and have a look. Thank you, Ian.
The incarceration of Larry Hoover, I sent him articles about the relationship of Matisse and Picasso and the need for these people. You need to have that. I need to go into the bar and go to Starbucks. That's a form of a modern day bar, right? And just hear Drake's song playing back to back. And Drake needs to go into that same Starbucks just in a different city and see people wearing Yeezys. And it puts us both back into the studio. And, God sets up these almost similar characters, these doppelgangers. It makes me really, really. People thought I was going to cancel myself. I'm not going to cancel myself. I'm going to keep awareness.
Just 1 second. I don't know why I can't hear. Can you guys hear the video? Do you hear it? Because I don't. Wait, let me check something. Just why is this video not playing?
The incarceration of Larry Hoover, I sent him articles about the relationship of Matisse and Picasso.
The video is still
and
no,
the
no.
need
The video
for
is going
these
to
people.
be still.
You need to have
That's
that.
The way I've done it.
I need to go into the bar and go
So
to
you
Starbucks.
hear it?
That's
I
a
don't.
that's a
I
form of
do
a
not
modern day
hear
bar,
the
right?
video
And
at
just
all.
hear Drake's song playing back to back. And Drake needs to go into
You
that
hear the
same
video,
Starbucks
and I
just in a
don't hear
different
it.
city and see people wearing
Okay,
Yeezys.
wait.
And it puts us both back into the studio. And
Connect the
God
dots.
sets up the
Jeez, I don't know why, but I can't hear it. What could I have done wrong? Everything seems to be connected. Okay. I do. Oh, I think I may know what's happened. 1 second. Right. I think I might know what's happened. Okay. So, sound changes. Right. It might be that. Okay. Let's see if this works now. Oh, there we go. Oh, gosh. Oh, I was wondering what happened. God. Now I hear it. Sorry about that, guys.
awareness to the incarceration of Larry Hoover. I sent him articles about the relationship of Matisse and Picasso and the need for these people. You need to have that. I need to go into the bar and go to Starbucks. That's a form of a modern day bar, right? And just hear Drake's song playing back to back. And Drake needs to go into that same Starbucks just in a different city and see people wearing Yeezys. And it puts us both back into the studio. And God sets up these almost similar characters, these doppelgangers. It makes me really realize God has a sense of humor. Like, why is
so in this conversation you're going to hear a lot of God talk. On a good day, I'm not keen on Kanye West. Just not keen. But I thought, okay, I'll go and listen to this interview to go and understand where's he coming from with all this Jew talk. And, it turns out his Christian beliefs, his Christian beliefs has a lot to play in his ideology, in the way he sees the world. if anyone is a poster child for what religion can do to you, Kanye West is. Religion can mess you up big time. Whether you're the richest, whether you're the poorest, the most brilliant, the most, religion can fuck you up big time. Kanye West, religion has, well, on top of his mental health problems, then you add religion to it. Yikes. It is a recipe for disaster. And these are the things I try to point out here on this channel, what religion can do to people. This guy, someone needs to grab him before it all spirals. Never mind all the money that he has. It can easily just go bad. Just 1 second. Okay, let's carry on with this video.
John Galliano and Mark Jacobs, the exact same human being, just placed in a different place? Or why does God have it where Bernard Arnault cannot purchase Gucci, not even through the Chinese market? God does this to remind us that we are not God. Because when you take people like Elon Musk and Bernard Arnault and Trump or Jack Ma, Putin, you take these people in their own space, in their own environments, you know, we can start to feel like gods on earth, but we are nothing in comparison to God. And we are here actually to love one another and to collaborate and to make the world a better place. There's, 1% of the world are placed in power and 99% of the world are the audience. So that 1% of the world, this idea of a United Nations, this is the world that needs to come together. This is the world that, here's the obvious go-to. Biden doesn't listen to Elon Musk. The president of the United States does not have meetings with Elon Musk. That is, hey, here, come get me. That's retarded. I know I'm not supposed to say that, Biden, but that's retarded, Biden. And I, it's, and obviously, because I've been deemed with mental health, all this, I have the right to use whatever words that I like to use.
Well, that's interesting. So
ask another question.
Well, yeah, let me ask you on that. So you just said something very inflammatory about President Biden. It will, as you know, offend a lot of people, and it will particularly offend people who work in mental health. You say you should not use a word like retarded, but you say that because you yourself have had mental health issues, that entitles you to use that kind of word as an insult. Now, I would say that's an arguable point.
I've had my issue is I've had mental health allegations.
So do you believe that you have any form of mental illness?
I believe that I suffered from exhaustion. I suffered from being lied to constantly by the people around me. And I believe those things can drive anyone to a point of maximum exhaustion. But I also believe that I'm extremely brilliant and I'm here to make the world a better place. And I'm tired of the left media trying to pick on me. And y'all picked on me enough.
Media.
And y'all finally touched the person that's not going to take it anymore. And that's part of the reason why I'm on Uncensored, because what they'd like is for me to be quiet. Interesting thing about racism and cancel culture, it's kind of similar, right? Racism works.
The buzzwords, you see those buzzwords with this guy, it is on a maximum scale. The frequency it's off the chart. He's talking about the left media. It's the left media. They're the ones doing everything to him. They're the ones speaking on him. It is the Jewish people. He is perpetually the victim. He, with all his wealth, with all his intelligence, is perpetually the victim. This guy supported Trump. This guy supported that government. He still, some of the things he's saying, you can tell he still thinks that Trump should have won. And here he's talking about Biden needs to have meetings with Elon Musk. Hello? Biden is the president. The way it works is that if Elon Musk wants to have a conversation with Biden, yeah, they can arrange something somehow. I don't know. But who is Elon Musk? Because he's wealthy. So now we must have them sit. The president must go and have meetings with Elon Musk. So, guys, I don't know. The way I think might be slightly different. But why should as if Biden hasn't got his own 1,000,001 problems as the president of America? He sleeps, wakes up, thinks about constantly the problems. Now this one sits there and just says, you need to go and have meeting with Elon Musk. Why? Who are you to dictate to Biden what he should and shouldn't do? I don't know.
On itself. I can go into the Gucci store at age 18 and I just assume that people think that I'm about to steal, so I buy more things. With cancel culture, when I brought Marilyn Manson on stage with me when he was dealing with allegations, my stepbrother Marilyn was canceling himself. So many people comment on my White Lives Matter t-shirt. There's people who are saying right there in Fashion Week, when are you going home? I'm so afraid. People thought I was going to cancel myself.
This guy is going to talk a lot about racism that him and his people have faced. How he wants to, it's like he's putting himself forward to be the one who stops racism, the one who fights for his people. But only last week, you and Candace Owens were wearing White Lives Matter t-shirts. Because everyone was wondering, what are these people doing? Look, wear any t-shirt you want to wear. Whatever you want to wear. But that was a statement t-shirt. That was a statement t-shirt. You can't, on the one hand, be saying you're for White Lives Matter. Now you want to put yourself as the one who will solve all the problems for the Black people. It's not your fight, Kanye. It's not your fight. Sometimes people have so much money, they don't know what else to do with themselves. That's what I'm seeing happening here.
I'm not going to cancel myself. I'm going to keep on delivering what I feel, because guess what? It's very split opinions, by the way. If I talk to a Black person that makes under $1 million a year, they really relate to the George Floyd comments and feel hurt that I would even bring it up and question the approach. They have multiple documentaries on the death of JFK, but we're just supposed to believe this one media outlet version that preyed on our trauma and our pain. And then if I talk to rich Black people or white people, Jew or Catholic.
Guys, this one was offensive. What he was saying about George Floyd was very offensive. In fact, he's being sued by the George Floyd family. He was trying to say that there was an agenda behind George Floyd's death. He will bring God into it in a minute. Just hang on. People saw the incident happen with George Floyd. You watched that video. that video haunted you. But guys, on top of the evidence and what we were seeing, there was a bigger picture. There are some Christians that have translated that man's death into some kind of coded hidden language. Coded. Some people with their religious beliefs can read meaning into everything. Everything happening in the world can be a sign from their book. As things are happening around the world, have you not heard Christians? They'll tell you it's been predicted in the Bible. Everything what's happening now. This interview between Piers and Ye. Some Christian can tell you that this meeting has been predicted. It's in the Bible. Everything is in their books. Religion can really mess people up big time.
Or atheists, they're really into the Jewish media comment because it affects their business interests.
Okay, well, look,
and it was really interesting.
Let me just pick you up on the two things you mentioned. The first one is what you said about George Floyd. And the reality of that, it's not a media interpretation of how he died, because the Hennepin County Chief Medical Examiner concluded that Floyd died from cardiopulmonary arrest. His heart stopped, complicated by the way the police restrained him and compressed his neck. Now, he also said there were other contributing conditions.
Wait.
Well, hang on, let me finish. There were other contributing conditions, narrowed arteries, high blood pressure, and fentanyl intoxication. But although these were significant conditions, he said, and things that played a role in the death, they didn't directly cause the death. The cause of death was what that policeman did with his knee to George Floyd.
Person?
Well, why would a coroner lie?
What makes you believe that?
Why would a coroner lie?
Because he could get paid to lie. Because he could get paid to lie.
But yeah, I watched it. I watched it for
the majority of the press.
Right, but I watched it for 8 minutes.
Now, tell me this: have you seen the Candace Owens BLM documentary?
I have watched some of that documentary. But here's what I would say to you: when you watch that video of George Floyd,
no, it's not a but. It's not. It's not.
Well, I haven't watched the whole thing.
I need you to watch.
I know.
Okay,
I know what you said about. I know Candace.
I'm going to finish. La la.
It's all right. You don't have to do that.
No one needs to watch Candace Owens' documentary. No one needs to watch that. I don't know what all that is about, but we watched it happen. We watched it. In fact, some of us watched the court proceedings. We don't need a Candace Owens documentary. The case has already been settled in court. The guilty, the perpetrator has been found guilty. The other police officers, I think their cases are coming soon, right? Correct me if I may be wrong, but their cases are either being heard now or the cases are coming soon. Why do we need? I don't know. Oh God, this is very problematic.
That means,
I know what it means.
La 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 means be quiet and let me finish.
But you did interrupt my question.
So with the BLM, no, I wasn't finished. You're pressing agenda. You haven't seen the whole thing.
I don't have an agenda. I just read you what the coroner said.
So we can have 20 different perspectives on how JFK died, but us as Black people, not only can we only vote one way, we're not allowed to have any other perspectives, and that the area for George Floyd, where he passed, the murder rate is up 50%, and nothing. This is so-called movement, but it didn't move Blacks anywhere.
Right, now listen.
So me as a Black person,
I will say there are legitimate questions about the Black Lives Matter movement, no question. But on the specific point about how George Floyd died, I don't think it's in question about what actually killed him. It was that police officer with his knee on his neck.
It is in question. It isn't question. I'm questioning it.
Well, you can
as
question
a Black
it, but
person,
what you're questioning is the coroner report.
Do you have friends that were killed by police officers? Do you have friends that were locked up? Do you have friends? Do you have people aborting half your race? No. So I am the Black person with the Black experience that's worth $11 billion and is the most influential person on the planet, and I am questioning it.
Okay,
I have a right to question.
So he's worth $11 billion, and he has a right to question. His money, I don't know if I can say that his money's got into his head. I don't know if I can say that, but your money doesn't mean anything to that case. The case has been tried. It's done. The one who's been found guilty, he's in jail now. Whatever your opinions are, keep them to yourself. You're just hurting that family all over again. Huh? His ego. Yes, Bolilang.
You absolutely.
You can't tell me with your accent that me as an American Jew black person that I cannot question that death and question the means behind that was put on camera.
I'm not saying you
to
can't
traumatize. I'm not finished. La 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 means let me finish.
Okay.
I'm not finished talking. So we can't. I cannot. See, because you distract my thoughts and then you try to make me look like a crazy person and you feel you have the right to cut me off. And I prove.
You distract my thoughts and make me look like a crazy person. When and where? When and where were you made to look like a crazy person? This guy is a perpetual victim. How do you engage in a conversation with someone like this? They're talking, having a good conversation, and automatically you're making him look crazy. Guys, Kanye West believes that the death of George Floyd was planned to traumatize the black people. That event where a man lost his life in that manner was some people planned it to traumatize the black people. He just says my people. I don't know who his people are. It's crazy.
Proven. You guys don't want it with me. This is like Terminator 20. You've never seen this before. You've never seen this before. So I want no one to play with me.
Don't play
I have the right to question because that videotape was used to traumatize my people and force us into the Democratic vote. Hey, George Soros, you're a real competitor. I respect you.
The death of George Floyd. Sorry, I'm getting a bit of goosebumps here. The death of George Floyd was used to force Kanye West people to the Democratic vote. Now I see why the family of the Floyd family would be upset. Let the man die. He's dead. Just let him die in peace. Stop with this nonsense about his cause of death, what was in his system. What is wrong with people? What is wrong with people?
I'm worth more money than you, and I have more influence than you, and have, Piers Morgan from a different country saying, well, I'm not going to do an English accent because that would be racist. I'm funny, by the way.
That's fine. I know you can do that. As I said to you, the show is uncensored yet. You can say what the hell you like, right? But that doesn't mean I can't pick you up on a few things, right? You accept that.
I accept that, but you try to say it is unquestionable because this one Dr. Fauci said this. I know it wasn't Dr. Fauci, but I'm just giving an example where we hear from even Google. Like people feel like, if you Google it, it's factual. There's so much non-factual information about me on Google, but then I still believe Google, and people pay to get certain information to the top of Google. But this is good. Keep going. Where else you want to go with it?
Here's where I want to go. The civil rights lawyer Lee Merritt responded to what you said about George Floyd's death and said, while one cannot defame the dead, the family of George Floyd is considering suit, which they're now doing, as you know, they're suing you for $250 million, for Ye's false statements about the manner of his death. Claiming Floyd died from fentanyl, not the brutality established criminally and civilly, undermines and diminishes the Floyd family's fight. So what is your response to that?
Well, anybody who loses a loved one, my heart goes out to them. Any race, My heart goes out to the pain of that. I have a theory about it. Now, this is not a fact.
This guy thinks that, you see, all that court proceeding, all the evidence that was produced in the courts by the prosecutors, all those evidences, as far as Mr. Kanye West is concerned, he has his own theory. He's got his own theory, and whatever all that was, they were paid actors. Those people, there was an agenda, there was a plan, there was guys, you have to be on a different level of, I don't know, brain malfunction to be thinking like this. And there are people who do think like this, unfortunately.
This is a feeling that I have.
In
the documentary, George Floyd's two roommates said that George kept saying, they want a tall guy like me. They want a tall guy like me. So for me,
guys, George Floyd was saying, they want a tall guy like me. They want a tall guy like, who is they? Kanye West. Who is that? You see, when these people say they did this, they did that, please ask, who is this they people? Yeah? So they want a tall guy like George Floyd. Mr. Kanye, who were these people that wanted a tall? And why would they want him? Why? Kanye is not a lone wolf. Yes, Bolilang, he's not. This, what he's saying here, he has not produced this from thin air. There are people that believe this.
I'm a creative, right? I can like make a dinosaur out of a femur, right? So if I'm making a dinosaur out of a femur and I'm looking at a documentary that says George Floyd was telling his two roommates, they want a tall guy like me. And on the day of his death, he prayed for 8 minutes. They said he prayed longer than he ever prayed.
Guys,
what do you think, me as a creative mind, the beautiful mind, right? The sensitive mind, what do you think I feel could have happened in that situation?
All right. Well, honestly, if I'm being honest with you, I would say that because of your brilliant, beautiful, creative mind, as you put it, and I don't dispute that at all, you've got an extraordinary mind. And I can see that in the way that you conduct interviews. You go off on very long tangents, but they're sort of fascinating. I find it fascinating to listen to you. I'm not saying you don't have a right to question.
Quite. These are like Capote level fascinating tangents.
No, they're not. They're not. I'm just saying it's the way you conduct yourself, and I think that's very interesting.
What do you mean? Or not? Why is it? Oh, it's not Capote level.
Actually, I think you
Capote level.
If you would like me to compare you to Truman Capote,
guys, Kanye says that the roommates of George Floyd said he prayed for 8 minutes on that day. For some reason, on that day, he prayed for 8 minutes, and then that police officer had his foot on his neck for 8 minutes. So look, all these things are linked. These people praying for 8 minutes, that officer's leg on his neck for 8, they're all part of the agenda. There's more to it than meets the eye. As far as Mr. Kanye is concerned, how did this guy get here? How? This is problematic now. Extraordinary mind.
I am happy to do that. Yeah. If you want to be known as the new Capote, okay. I'm with you. Okay. I'm not going to question your talent. Your talent to me is completely unquestionable. Right. When you question that,
answer the question about the femur to the dinosaur.
No, I'm going to ask you a different question.
Situation.
I'm just going to ask you this.
Femur to what
no,
dinosaur?
you're gonna. I didn't finish my question.
Well, hang on. You can't tell me.
Answer my question.
You can't tell me what questions to ask you. You accept that I'm the interviewer.
To answer my question. No, I said answer my question. No, I'm interviewing you too.
Well, you can't interview me. It's my interview.
You're Bono. I'm interviewing you too. See, that's the way we rap.
Let me just
you know what I'm saying?
let me just put this here.
So no.
Hang on.
You're trying to avoid
you no. La to put quite a phrase. You're interrupting me now.
I'm gonna get back to it.
All right, you can, but let me ask you.
Because you haven't answered my question.
Here's my question for you, which you haven't answered.
No, I'm not answering. Don't answer my question with a question. I'm not answering anything.
I'm going back to my original question in a way, which is simply this. I'm not saying you don't have a right to question how George Floyd died, but given the world watched that horrifying video of that policeman's knee on his neck, and given that is what the coroner said caused his death, albeit he had other underlying conditions, including fentanyl intoxication, when the family see someone like you, who's hugely influential, you're known around the world, questioning how their loved one died, they find that very hurtful, which is why they're now suing you for it. And my question for you is, do you understand the pain that sometimes your comments can cause, like this circumstance with George Floyd's family?
Now, I'm going to ask you a question again. With my imagination, when you see in the documentary that George Floyd's two roommates said they want a tall guy like me, they want a tall guy like me, and that he prayed extra long on the day of his passing, where do you think that takes my beautiful mind?
I think it can take you to a place where you want to believe something which may not be true. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying all the evidence points. I'm giving you an honest answer. My honest answer is I think that
Guys, someone who has a delusional mind. Now, I'm not saying Kanye has a delusional mind. I'm saying that some people have a delusional mind, and their delusional mind, they think they are the best things in sliced bread. That their delusional mind has somehow become the beautiful mind. Look at the Bible, right? Stories in the Bible. Some people had some claims in the Bible. John, the one who wrote the Revelations, came with all these claims, and nobody thought to check that guy. No one thought to check Revelations. The one who wrote Revelations said, look, this thing doesn't make sense. I guess the people thought, whoa, this comes from a beautiful mind. All right, beautiful mind indeed.
That's a political
my honest belief is that,
what do you guys do? People in the newsroom, what are they doing? They're like cringing right now. They're like, whoa,
no,
we never experienced this before. We
I'm not cringing.
A black entertainer that won't be threatened by the media to back down from his opinion.
Yeah, I think you mistake me. You mistake me for somebody who's going to be like the others. I have a show called Uncensored for a reason. I'm giving you a platform for a reason.
But you're pressing an agenda.
No, I'm not. You're perfectly entitled to your opinions.
Agenda.
But do you accept
you're lying now?
Do you accept you may not always be right?
I just called you a liar. How does that make you
That's
feel?
fine if you think I'm a liar. That's fine.
No, you're a liar. You're pressing the agenda.
Oh wow, there's an agenda, guys.
And trauma economy that is pressed on my people by the left.
Actually, the trauma I think that was implemented to George Floyd was from a vile white racist police officer who kneed him to his death. And I agree with the coroner's findings because I don't see any reason why the coroner would invent that. So that's my belief. If you want to challenge that and you don't believe it, that's entirely your right.
I have a question. Who do you think are the biggest vile white racist? The media.
You think the media is racist?
What? Please, next question. Please don't ask me any retarded questions.
Okay, let me go to the next furore, which has been around you.
I get very uncomfortable when people make some very bold assertions. When they say the media is racist. What part of the media? There are various forms of the media. Which one exactly? Don't just make these claims. No. It can get you into trouble. The media is racist. Which one of these medias? There are different forms of the media. So which one? This guy, this is problematic. It makes me cringe listening to him. How is Piers able to listen to this?
In the last couple of weeks, which is your attacks.
Is that British for theory? Is that British for theory?
A Fiore.
What's theory, bro? Is that British for theory?
You actually have quite a good British accent. That's quite good. Let me ask you, if I can, about the allegations that you have made anti-Semitic comments. And in particular, when you said on Instagram, I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. Now, many people who are Jewish found that deeply offensive. They wanted to know, what did you mean by going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people? Because DEFCON 3, as you know, is a heightened state of awareness for military action.
Okay,
so what did you mean by that? What was,
right.
Here's your chance to clarify what you meant by DEFCON 3 on Jewish people.
Right. Clarify. Right. This is his opportunity. Guys.
Well, thank you.
All right. So he made a statement on, I think on Twitter or Instagram, one of them. He made a statement saying he's sleepy, right? But when he wakes up, he's going DEFCON 3 on the Jewish people. Means a heightened state of military. I don't know what this DEFCON business is. But please, guys, help me in the chat. What is DEFCON 3? What does it mean? So he's going to be DEFCON 3 when he wakes up, okay? So a lot of people were upset, and rightfully so. You don't make statements about the Jewish people in that manner. You don't just put all Jewish people under one huge umbrella and they're all the same. Because you have come in contact with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Jewish people does not make all Jewish people the same. Don't make that mistake. So when you say the Jewish people, you mean the babies too? The babies too as well? All right, so this is his opportunity to clarify what he meant by what he said. Let's hear what Kanye is going to say next.
For allowing me to say what I meant due to the fact that I was blocked by Jewish people after I said that. So I wasn't actually allowed to say what I was about to say. But what I was going to say is I was going to talk about all of the contracts, all of the misdealings that I dealt with as an entertainer. Being that I'm an entertainer, I've been wronged so many times by Jewish businessmen. And the reason why I say people, if a black man is caught in the car with drugs or a gun, and there's 3 other black guys in the car with him, guess what? They're all going to jail. So the reason why I say people is I want those businessmen's wives and fathers, mothers, grandmothers, and kids to ask them, why is Ye so mad at us? Because they're taking money out of my children's mouths and putting it into their children's mouths. I'll give you this parallel and this analogy. If you take, I just talked to Irina Shayk, right? And if you look at a picture of her at age 14, this person is beautiful, like one of the most beautiful people that God has ever created, right? And if any man did her wrong at a young age, she would get to the point where maybe she would actually hate men. You've heard that terminology, right? So I'm at a point where I'm frustrated. I have the right to my anger, and I'm saying that people need to fix it. I'm not going to fix what I feel until what I'm feeling is fixed.
Okay, can I respond?
You're not just going to shut me up and say,
no, I'm not going to shut you up. Can I respond to what you just said? My problem with what you've said, I'll be straight with you, is if I, as a white man, posted tomorrow on my Instagram, I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on black people.
Okay.
What would you think?
Jew.
No, if I said black people, what would you think?
That he's a Jew.
If that was what I posted.
Well, did you accept that black people, you accepted that black people are Jew? Or
No, I'll come to that in a moment. On the specific though, if I simply said, in other words, all black people was the implication of what I said, I would get rightly cancelled. I would get rightly vilified and abused. You, I suspect, would be outraged by a white person saying such a thing.
He will
because
be
you
the
wouldn't make any
first
distinction
one.
about whether I was talking about certain black business.
Piers, Kanye will be the first one to come after you. It's okay when Kanye says it. There's nothing wrong because it's Kanye. Because it's the other people. So he can do that to those people. He was asked to clarify his statement. He went off on this tangent. Oh, if my people, my fellow black people are driving down the street, oh, they're the first ones to be attacked. Oh, Irina Shayk, the beautiful model, this didn't even answer the man's question. Just deflect, and talked about him being frustrated. His frustration is not the Jewish people's problem. God. This man's frustration is not the Jewish people's problem. Huh? So
people I'd fallen out with or whatever, you would think
okay,
I was judging an entire populace by the color of their skin. You are, by saying Jewish people, Jewish people, you're not saying Jewish businessmen, accountants, whatever, that you've had a problem with. You're basically saying in that statement, all Jewish people, which is why it caused such offense. And I'm curious whether you, even as you wrote those words, understood what Jewish people actually would feel when you said that and didn't make any specific references to any individuals.
Maybe they would feel how all my people have felt. Maybe they would feel the pain of when a black artist looks up and they've completely been raped by.
Guys, please help me. Who are Kanye West's people? Is it black people? No, I need to know. Who are Kanye West's people? The people that he's fighting so hard for. Who are these people? Is it the black people? Because if it is the black people he's fighting so hard for, why was him and what's the other one, that woman's name? Candace, last week, 2 weeks ago. White Lives Matter. When it suits Kanye, his people get thrown in the bin. But when it's time to defend his antisemitic views, oh, it's my people. Now it's my people. No, someone help me. Who are his people? His people are the Kardashians. Listen, that explains it. That explains a lot to me, because it can't be the black people. This man cannot be fighting for the black people, and then, on the other hand, you're wearing the White Lives Matter. What's wrong with you? My people, my people, my people. Kanye is playing political games. He has been trying desperately to really insert himself into politics. Look, a lot of people just made a real show of themselves when Donald Trump was in office. So many people look at remember the pictures of those preachers that all came together and were praying for Trump. Remember, I don't know which one of you saw that picture where these people came together and they were praying for Trump. Trump really made a mess of people's careers. There's some people right now, because of their relationship and support for Trump, they can never be taken seriously again, ever. Can never be taken seriously. There are people who went as far as to predict, preachers went as far as to predict that Trump will win. Oh, Trump, this. Oh, gosh. I'm sure, guys, I think Kanye West was also trying to run for presidency. In fact, on his hat, he's got 2024 on his hat. Looks like he's about to That's why they're working to. Okay, he's fighting for the Thorazine. Thorazine. What's Thorazine? What's Thorazine? Okay, Thorazine Nation. Paula White. That's right. Paula White and the clan. All of them ganged up to go and pray for president. And I tell you, Christianity, that whole the Orange Man's presidency just made a mockery of Christianity, brought Christianity right down to the gutters. Look at the people that went on the January 6th. Look at the show. Look at what they displayed. Make America great again. You really want to make America great again? How can people who want America to be great again be displaying? So that's what greatness looks like? That January 6th, is that what greatness of America, is that what it looks like? Okay. Maybe it's me who doesn't know what greatness stands for, what it's supposed to mean. God.
Five Jewish businessmen, and there's multiple accounts.
Why does the fact that they're Jewish have anything to do with it?
Maybe they would feel like that.
But why would you say
it just so happens they are?
Well, okay, but I wouldn't. Why categorize them according to their religious faith, their ethnicity? Why would you do that? Why can't you just describe them as business people that you've dealt with? That's fine. But what you're doing by saying Jewish people, these constant tirades against Jewish people, many people find
why that. Tirade? That sounds like you have it.
I think it's a tirade.
Where's a tirade? That was a tweet. It was a tweet.
It's not just a tweet.
You asked me to explain it. And that, have you felt my pain yet? You haven't felt my pain. You don't want to feel my pain. You don't hold accountability. You don't hold accountability to my pain. You're being a Karen.
I'm talking about. I'm not a Karen.
To the pain.
I'm not a Karen, and I'm not going to cancel you, and I'm not going to unsend.
Bro, all of us have our pain. Have you felt my pain? This is a multi-millionaire, billionaire sitting there asking, have you felt my... Which pain? What pain? How? I'm not saying he doesn't have pain. Don't get me wrong, guys. He does. It is not Piers Morgan's responsibility to feel your pain. You feel your pain. You do something about your pain. You've got enough money you can easily seek whatever help is out there. Go to the doctors. They'll feel your pain. It's not his response. He can relate. He can empathize. But it's not his duty to try and feel your pain. To try and... I don't know what he means when he's asking him, have you felt my pain?
I'm simply going to challenge you on what you're saying. I think you don't understand the pain that you've been causing with some of these comments.
Exactly.
And I think that one in particular, I can understand.
Oh my God.
So he wants other people to feel his pain, but he is inflicting pain on other people. The George Floyd family, the Jewish people. You inflict pain on these people. So who will feel their pain, Kanye? Hey, Natalie Sparkle. Who will feel the pain of these people? And the people that you're busy talking about, they haven't got money to go and treat their pain. At least you have money to treat your own pain.
God forbid, one comment could cause people to feel any of the pain that my people have went through for years. Even like the blacks being ushered to the left during the civil rights movement. No one has cared about black people. All right. No one is.
Let me say, I agree that the racism against black people has been utterly deformable, shameful, unacceptable. And thank God the world is beginning to move to a better place about the way it has treated black people like you. However, one form of racism doesn't justify...
It's almost in a better place.
But one form of racism doesn't justify another.
It's not a better place.
I'm not cutting you off. I'm finishing my sentence. You can respond. One form of racism. It is racism when you say I'm going death for Jewish people. That's racism.
No, it's not.
It is.
I thought you had a platform where I could explain how I felt.
Yeah.
You don't care about how I feel. You just want to shut me up. You don't want me to say out loud what my people have been going through.
I do.
Or do you?
I do. I'm very happy to do that.
So what have my people have been going through? What led me to that point?
How is he supposed to know? You are here to clarify. You're here to give. This is the thing. When people put when they project their thoughts, their feelings, their opinions on you, and they expect you to understand them, to get them. You hear some people would say things like, "Oh, you know me. You know me. I don't like this. Oh, you know me. No, hang on. I don't know you. You tell me about you. Don't expect me." Like some people will say, "Oh, but you should have known. Oh, you should have known to call me. Oh, you should have known to ask me. You should have known." No, I'm trying to figure things out for myself and my children, let alone trying to figure things out for you. So no, I didn't know. If you didn't tell me, I didn't know. This one is a victim. Let's see. This is a rich, very rich victim.
My point is, me, a person, a successful, influential, extremely attractive person to get to that point.
I am not doubting for a moment that you will feel genuine pain.
He said, "What made me an extremely attractive person to get to that point?" Kanye West, extremely attractive. Maybe it's his teeth. I don't know. Maybe it's the teeth. Extremely attractive, dressed like a painter. I've never understood his designs. As he's sitting there, he looks like a painter to me. But if I tell you how much those clothes are worth now, I know I couldn't afford any of his clothes. Oh my goodness.
About the racism against you and other black people in America. Not for 1 second would I deny that.
Racism by who?
Well, by anybody. I think any form of racism is wrong. Any form of racism is wrong.
I didn't say DEFCON on anybody though.
You said DEFCON 3 on Jewish people, specifically Jewish people. You didn't say any particular Jewish person. You said basically all of them. That is racism, yay. And I think if you were honest with yourself, given the fallout from this, you would think again about how you phrased that sentence. Because actually, you didn't mean all Jewish people.
Given the fallout. Given the fallout. Do you
care about the hurt you caused Jewish people?
What fallout?
Well, you were removed from social media.
Wait a second, you're not allowing me to talk, Chris. You're not allowing me to talk, Chris. Oh, I thought it was the same person.
He's American. I'm British.
So the thing is, I want to bring joy to the world. I'm a composer, right? And this is a symphony. Our life is a symphony. We have so many beautiful ideas, but I feel the anti-Semite has been a wall, a cloak that allows Jewish businessmen, boom, I'll only be the police officer that says, hey, this guy with the gun is the only person going to jail. I'll be the first person that does that in history, right? So look, no one else in this car riding with the guy with the gun and the drugs is going to jail. Are you happy? I'll play by rules that are not played by for my people. Just for the sake of
I don't want you playing by any.
So that makes you happy, right?
I don't want you to say
that's what colonizers do, is give us rules.
I'm not trying to colonize you. I'm not trying to colonize you. I'm not trying to censor you. All I'm saying to you is when you use a phrase, yay, like I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people.
Did you hear what I just said, though?
Yes, I did.
We're past that. We're past that in conversation.
We're not past it.
Did you hear what I just said?
We're not past it.
Are you happy that I said I'll focus?
Let me explain what
are you happy that I said?
I know. I heard what you just...
Whoa, brother, why are you talking over me?
Let me respond.
This is G-Man.
Chris.
This is G-Man level.
Let's respond. Let me respond, right? I'm simply saying what you've just said is not what you said on your Instagram post, and you know it. Right? If you have a problem with particular businessmen who happen to be Jewish, that is a concern for you.
And you know it.
So you talk about all Jewish people.
But brother, what is the point? Brother, do you want me to grow from the statement? I just told you, okay, I was in a position where I've been hurt, and this is the way I had the right to express myself. The point of this interview is for you to question me, and then for me to answer and say, okay, even though
I have been hurt, and so because I've been hurt, I have the right to hurt others. It doesn't work that way, mister. Have all the money in the world. It doesn't work that way. Bill Gates, he's off doing things to help people. He's off doing lots of charity work, going to help people. He's not out here making statements, harmful, hurtful statements. Some people don't deserve money. They don't deserve wealth. They don't deserve riches because, gosh, wealth in the hands of some people, they become monsters. They become just the worst of the worst. Some people win the lottery, and when they win the lottery, just goes right into their head, and they become just completely different. I don't know if his wealth is any good for him. And now they're beginning to cancel him left, right, and center. I think what he needs might just be a reality check. Just no.
The same rules do not apply to my people. If a person with a gun or drugs is pulled over and has three other people in the car, they're all going to jail. I'm not going to apply that to Jewish people for the sake of this conversation. Isn't that what you wanted? But you know what you did? You tried to civil rights me. You tried to pull me back to a week ago, but we're here today. There's been plenty of conversations and commentary since that, but you want me to go back to 1960.
No.
You want me to go back to 7 days ago.
All right, let me jump in.
No.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to reflect.
Okay, so have we grown? Have we grown?
Here's how we grow. Yeah, here's how we grow. I want you to reflect.
No, have we grown? Have we grown? You're not in charge of my growth. You're not in charge of my growth, Chris.
Okay, let me phrase it like this. I'm about to suggest to you how you may grow if you choose to grow this way. And you can ignore me. You can ignore me.
Pierce, how much money are you worth?
Ooh. Not as much as you, sadly.
Exactly. So take my advice. Maybe you'll get richer.
I would love to take your business advice.
Why would I listen to you?
Why don't you hear what my advice is and then work out if I'm wrong? Can we do that deal?
You haven't given me any credit or a moment of reflection for the comparison that I made, the brilliant, if I do say so myself, comparison that I made to the cops pulling over one black person and locking everyone up.
I understand what you're saying.
My tweet having issues. Wait a second, I wasn't done with the sentence. My tweet referring to all Jewish people. Like I said, for the sake of this conversation, I will refer.
Petulant child. When you're over talking, he starts to say la 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 la. What's wrong? What is? Oh, God. He thinks because he's got all that money, somehow he's got this beautiful mind. Somehow he must be a unique being. He must be some extraordinary human. Not listen to advice? After all, I've got more money than you. Who are you to give me advice? Have you got more money than me? I'm wealthy. God.
To the business people who have destroyed me and my people and my fellow creatives. But you didn't even accept that I gave you that. You tried to push me back into 1960. You tried to push me back into last week.
No, I didn't.
Okay, did you accept that example that I gave you?
I understand completely the example you gave me. I think all racism is wrong.
So I feel that we've grown.
I would like you to reflect.
I feel we've grown.
If you feel we've grown, if you've now changed what you wanted to say originally, my question for you is: do you now regret saying DEFCON 3 on Jewish people? Are you sorry you said that?
No.
I think it matters. You should be.
Absolutely not.
You should be.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, but you should be.
Absolutely not. Are the people, the Jewish businessmen that led me to that place, are they sorry for the way they've raped my
I don't know who you're talking about in particular, but I don't know why you keep having to say
and
they're
by
Jewish.
The way,
what does the fact they're Jewish got to do with anything? Why do you keep doing that?
What do you mean? They're the Jewish businessmen that did that. Because
they're business people.
That's what they did.
Why do you keep saying Jewish business?
Okay, these Jewish businessmen. Okay. A specific Jewish businessmen does not equate to all the Jewish people. And even if these Jewish businessmen do take advantage of you somehow, Kanye, there are ways, there are systems that can help resolve issues. That's why there are courts. That's why you have contracts. That's why you have lawyers helping you to resolve these things. Yes, businessmen are the most brutal, very brutal people because they just want to make all the money for themselves. I get that. But they can't just take advantage of you. If you have your own lawyers, if you have your own legal team, if you have everything, you've got the money, you can afford it. And even if they do pull a fast one on you, go to court. Not trying to pull a death con on Jewish people because of your 5 businessmen.
People. Why do you keep using their religion, their ethnicity? Why do you keep doing that?
Let me update it then. Okay. So I'll say this.
All right.
Would it be, would I have grown into the box you want me to go in if I say to specify the business people that have raped my people that just so happen to be Jewish?
I think by doing what you've just done, I find that I'm not even Jewish and I find that offensive. Why do you keep having to do that? I don't think you get it at all. I don't think you understand the offense you're causing when you keep using their religious background, their ethnicity as a stick to beat them with. Why would you do that?
So what are you more concerned about? Getting the richest black man of all time to kowtow because it's not going to happen.
I don't want you to kowtow. You can do what the hell you like. You're a billionaire. You can do what the hell you want. I'm just saying to you that I don't think you quite understand when you talk about. Okay, can I finish?
It's not multi.
You're a multi-billionaire. Okay, well, congratulations. That doesn't change the fact that when you insult the Jewish people and say you're going DEFCON 3 on the Jewish people, that is as racist as anything you say you've been through and any pain that you've experienced. It's the same thing. Racism is racism.
Deadly for some people.
And you know that, I think, don't you?
Yeah, obviously. That's why I said it.
So you said it knowing it's racist?
You did?
Yes. I fought fire with fire.
Okay.
I'm not here to get hosed down.
At least that's honest.
A different type of freedom fighter.
That's honest. All right. You were racist because you knew it was racist, but you decided to do that because people have been racist to you. Is that your position?
No, I'm not. First of all, I can't. What is the beginning? Read the whole tweet. I'm sure you have it in front of it. Somebody in your office has it. Get him a coffee and a yay tweet.
What do you want to know? The whole tweet?
I want you to read it out loud, sir.
I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake...
If only this guy can bring his ego down a little bit, he will realize that Piers Morgan is trying to give him an out. Piers Morgan is trying to make him rectify the mess that he finds himself in. Piers Morgan is trying to help him go from his high ground to at least to a soft landing so people can see him different. He's on a show, right, that he can speak his mind. This, in the hands of other people, they would have been here trying to be the sweetest person you can find. They'll be here saying, I was diagnosed last week, and unfortunately, I had a breakdown. And that's what brought me to that place where I said those things. I apologize. But no, Piers is really trying really hard. But ego. And, well, he's bipolar too. Just too many things going on here.
Wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. The funny thing is I actually can't be anti-Semitic because black people are actually Jew. Also, you guys have toyed with me and tried to blackball anyone who opposes your agenda. That was the exact tweet.
I like reading that whole thing. I can't be anti-Semite. I love Jewish people. I work with Jewish people. Yo, watch this. Some of my best friends are Jewish.
Right. So you know how that sounds.
How many times have you heard that statement?
Of course. Of course.
Wait. Have we ever heard that term before? But the funny thing is they are. I work with Dove Charney that got kicked out of his company.
He works with
American
Jewish
Apparel.
people.
I work with this guy every day.
This guy.
He's like my twin. He's one of my favorite people.
When it benefits him, he works with Jewish people. when it comes time to be a nuisance online, blame it on the Jewish people. Kanye, how do you expect the Jewish people who work with you, how do you want them what do you want them to think of you when you think about them and their people in that manner? You work with Jewish people, but you can be anti-Semite. It doesn't work that way. You will lose all those people. You lose all of them.
And the planet, and we work through that. We talk through it, and he says, "Yay, why are you so mad?" And I'm like, "This is why I'm mad. This contract right here. What's gonna happen?"
He's mad because of a contract,
We're
guys.
gonna open up all of the music industry contracts, all of the publishing deals, all of the athlete deals, all of the acting deals, all of the mortgages,
because of contracts,
all of the deals.
But that's fine. But yeah, that's all fine.
Business people who we went at.
That's all fine. You can do all.
But it has to start somewhere.
Of course, you can do all that. And when you do that,
it has to start somewhere.
I hope you won't be judged as a black business person doing it all the time. That people don't phrase it all the time by the color of your skin, but by your business acumen. Isn't that what you would like? Isn't that what equality actually means?
Of course I'll be judged by that, because when people come into power, people get judged. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nobody that gets judged more than a straight white male. The straight white male has the least amount of a platform to even speak. A straight white male can't say, "My wife hurt me today," and because people will say, "Well, you're hurting women." A straight white male can't say, "Hey, a black employee didn't come in to work on time," because then people will say you're racist. A straight white male can't speak on a homosexual person because they'll say you're homophobic. And so I empathize with the position of the straight white male. And part of the reason why I empathize with that position is because I know that I'm headed to that position. And what position that is? Top power position.
Okay.
That's the top power position, where you get all the rocks thrown. And that's the thing. I have friends, right, that will, like, actually, that's the reason why I'm going to just in a different city and see people wearing Yeezys. And it puts us, I feel like
guys.
Okay.
That's the top power position, where you get all the rocks thrown. And that's the thing. I have friends.
Sorry, because I just mixed the
actually, that's the
clips.
reason why I'm going to be a good leader someday,
because of
really
what do you call it?
But I call
copyright.
black people out on their stuff. I call white people out on their stuff, because we're all people. We're actually only one species. And in order to, whether it's my friends texting me like, "Bro, you got to get in the gym."
So we're all okay. Yeezy says we are all one species. Kanye, if we are all one species, why are you trying to condemn a particular subset of the species? Why are you trying to be the one who is pointing fingers at a set of people in this species? If you've had problems with 5 Jewish businessmen, take them to court. Take them to court. Sue them. Do something. But now he's going to affect his entire business, his entire life, his entire income stream, everything, because of his mouth. Hey, Dr. Cyrus, hello. This is absolutely crazy. Some people, they're doing so well. They're on the top of their game. And then they just find themselves from up there. They just find themselves down on the ground. And they start to wonder, what happened? How did I get here?
You're looking chubby in the photo. It's like we have to hold each other accountable to what's actually happening. And it's so much is based on you did that tweet wrong. So what I will say is, I feel that my words demand more sensitivity for the frequency that I'm operating at, and that and
it's operating on a frequency, guys.
I take that responsibility.
It's operating on a frequency.
Everything happens for a reason. Because if it had been perfectly worded in English, and because there's nothing whiter than English itself, right? I'm already not speaking in my mother tongue, right? So if I had perfectly worded it in the most sensitive way, then we wouldn't be here right now. Now we're opening up the conversation. Like I'm not allowed to say whether or not I'm running for office in 2024, but I'll tell you what, if the left, let's say the left would have never supported me anyway. And now I've got to call to attention, I am who you should support. The left did not allow Trump to be president. They treated him like he wasn't even the president. So even then he won, he was losing half of the American people every day, and it divided the country. What I'm saying, whoever goes into office, for British media, for American media, we must support our leaders and not just run this hyper negative. You know what I will? And Black people hate when I apologize for this. When I see people like John Legend and Chrissy Teigen talk down on the president, I'm like, wow, that kind of sounds like me. That kind of sounds like the telethon. I opened up this level of disrespect towards our leaders. And people were happy. And the left saw that and say, well, let's just have every celebrity do what Ye did at the telethon. So I take responsibility for that moment. And you know what? I just want to give every Jewish person a big hug. Also,
now
I'm
he wants
envious
to hug
of the Jewish people. I'm envious of how they don't abort their children. I'm envious of how they don't shoot each other in the streets and then rap about it.
Here
I'm
we go.
Of how they're
now we're going into the abortion. He's envious of the Jewish people because they don't abort their children. There's a lot of things wrong here. Your ideals, your religion, your political party. That whole Trump era was a big tool for religious people to just sink further down that rabbit hole. And Trump fueled, he knew what the religious people were looking for, and he fed their itching ears. He fed their desires. Make these people promises. Yes, I'm on your side. I'm a Christian like you. Here's my Bible. Go and take pictures showing off his big Bible. All the Christians were like, yes, he is called by God. He's anointed. In fact, he is the chosen one, chosen by God. And then all that just went to shit. And now Kanye says the left did not want Trump to win. Trump was there for 4 years. Somehow, let's just not bother with that. It's the left. The left were the ones that didn't make him come back to office. Never mind that he was a rubbish leader. Never mind that he had his own issues and people just weren't feeling him. They weren't interested in having him run a second tenure. No, just blame it on the left.
Their families stay together. I'm envious that they turn their phones off on Friday night and the family comes together. I'm envious of how they do business together. And I want that for the darker Jews. I want that for the Black people.
I want Jews.
That. We need that. God said we should remove the word want, right? Okay. We're going to have that. Okay. And this is the beginning of it.
But it seems to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me that you are acknowledging, as you've just acknowledged that it was wrong to say what you said about President Bush when he said he doesn't care about Black people, and that may have encouraged all this disrespect towards presidents since. I think it's an interesting point you made. It does seem to me, Ye, talking to you, that even if it's hard for you to admit this, that you do regret the wording of that tweet which caused all the problems, and you wouldn't phrase it that way again. Am I right?
I would tell my dad that. My dad loved the White Lives Matter t-shirt because what audacity does a Black man have to wear the exact same t-shirt that a white man could wear? You know, and my dad was a Black Panther. I mean, we have a water purification center. You know, he's like the original Steve Jobs. Right. He's the educated version of me, right? And he liked both of those things, but he said, you know, Ye, he even calls me Ye now. He's like, Ye, you've got to be more sophisticated with your wording. And that wording, like I said, I'm a bit sleepy and it lacked the sophistication needed to be the true conductor that I am, because it's the conductor's job to bring people together. And that was divisive, right, which is not who I want to be.
Right. So
so I'll tell you that I'm not looking. And also let me
well, sounds like you agree. So it sounds like you agree with me. Do you agree with me then?
I want to talk. Okay, let me say that I'm just thinking right now. What's on my heart is the idea for people who do actually have severe mental health issues. You know, the word retarded. For there's parents that have children who actually are mentally ill, and that word is really offensive to those people.
So why use it?
And just because I was feeling what's a couple reasons? Because people call me retarded. They treat me like I'm retarded. And so I embrace it. It's like you call somebody a so much.
He used the R word, right? And now when he's asked, why did you use the R word? He says, oh, because people say it to me. Because I'm retarded myself. So it's okay. There's always an excuse for his bad behavior. There's always an excuse. Me. Woe is me. I'm the victim. Listen to me cry, but I'm not ready to listen to you. Kanye.
Say you call somebody a bitch so much they say I'm a bitch. You call somebody a retarded so much you say I'm retarded. Like I was exhausted, and I embraced the idea of having a serious mental health issue. But Noah also, but Moses was basically on speed when he was doing what he did.
Let me ask you,
by the way,
look, out of interest, how much sleep do you get a night?
I'm not here to talk about how much sleep I get.
Well,
I don't owe you that.
Literally just been talking about
how much sleep do you get a night?
I had about 5.5 hours last night, actually. Not very much.
And there's space.
You're the one that's raised this issue.
And I probably had the same.
Right. My question is only
probably had the same, but
it's only because you've been talking about you don't believe you have a mental illness. You think it's lack of sleep. So I think it's an obvious question to ask, well, how much sleep do you get? Are you constantly sleep deprived? Is that one of the reasons perhaps sometimes, as you say, you feel sleepy and you shoot from the hip verbally and you say stuff that maybe when you're rested, you wouldn't say it the same way? Would that be fair?
Tell me what's okay. No, it's not fair, because what's more important, the pain and the truth of what I'm talking about and what led me to that tweet, or the tweet itself?
I think both can be true.
The pain that led you
the
to
problem
the
you have
tweet,
is
or
I
the
think you've
tweet
acknowledged
itself.
I think you've acknowledged that the wording of the tweet was offensive.
Years.
Yes, I understand, but you know the damage it caused, and I
understand that was offensive.
And I think that you have accepted.
The
You probably shouldn't have phrased it that way. You as a white person are so stuck on the idea that what I said was offensive, which is a very caring approach. You're not sticking on the fact. You have not unpacked what happened with those contracts. I've said that, but you didn't ask me another question.
Contracts,
that means
Kanye.
there's an agenda.
Absolutely not. I have repeatedly said to you that I'm sure I do not disbelieve that you've had contract business issues with various managers, accountants, and so on.
Kanye West has had issues with 5 businessmen. Kanye West has issues with contracts for the NFL players, NBA players, musicians, right? Their contracts. When you type a tweet, you only can type a certain number of words, which can be taken completely out of context if you do not give context. He made a tweet saying, I'm tired now, but wait, when I get up, I'm going to do this, that to all Jewish people, the Jewish people. Now he wants Piers Morgan to unpack his pain before he typed the tweet. Now it is Piers Morgan's duty to unpack what he was feeling before he... Guys, be careful. There are times when you say some things and people will get you wrong. But just try your hardest to let the other person see where you're coming from, so they don't get you wrong. Don't expect that everyone will understand where you're coming from. We as humans, we're very complex being, very complex. It's like asking me to come into your mind and understand what goes on in there. Even my own mind. Sometimes I'm shocked by the things that come up in my own mind. Someone gave me a target, someone gave me a job to do today. And I was busy doing it. And then realized I had my own little talents. I had my own little twist to what they'd asked me to do. I impressed myself. I was sitting there thinking, whoa, so you had these skills? I was feeling really good. I was grinning ear to ear because I just done something I didn't think I could do. And I was enjoying what I was doing. I didn't think I had that. Can you imagine me now telling somebody to try and understand where I was coming from when I myself didn't know I had those skills? I had that those qualities. Human beings are complex. And tweets, yeah. Twitter is one place that, look, if you're a troublemaker, stay away from Twitter. Just stay away. Your how many, I don't know how many letters does Twitter allow you for one tweet? Why couldn't this rich man, he's rich, he's worth billions, why couldn't he, before tweeting, just run it by his media team? I'm sure he must have a media team. I don't know. These people.
My argument is that when you
Just
do it,
me
when
or other me's.
I'm sure
other
many.
me's.
I'm sure many
Hey,
other artists in the
Fields.
music business. Yeah, of course.
You're you know why you're sure? Because you don't care to do the research because it doesn't affect you.
No, it's because you said.
Have you done any research?
No. Yeah, let me explain to
Now
you.
he
I'm
has
not
to go
doubting
do
what you're
research.
saying.
Care.
I do care.
You don't care about me. You don't care about my people. I care about me. I care about my people.
The
so
Kardashians.
And God forbid I step on someone's toes while I'm at it.
It's not someone's toes. You stepped on the entire Jewish people's toes with a very deeply inflammatory tweet, which I think you've now accepted. You shouldn't have phrased that way. It's taken a bit of time to get there, but I think you have accepted that, right?
Have you accepted that you've put no effort into understanding how I got there?
I don't think, honestly,
10 years from now,
honestly, I don't think
you're
there is
going to
any.
apologize to me about this interview.
I'm not.
You're going to apologize to me about this interview within the next 10 years.
No, I'm not. Because here's the thing.
Mark my words.
I don't doubt you've had.
It's very.
So, Piers Morgan has to understand where he's coming from. The guy is so sure of himself. He's been fed by these people that are in his ears. They've got him so bad that he is so sure of his views. He's so sure of what he's saying. He's not prepared to listen. Anyone who is challenging him is part of the opposition. Anyone who is asking him questions, just to ask questions, to try and clarify what he was saying, you are the part of the agenda. You're part of the agenda. This guy is a walking he's a walking disaster, in my opinion. I don't hate the man. I don't know him from Adam. But this, and then there have been people who have jumped on this bandwagon and are cheering him. They're cheering Kanye. Go, brother. You're speaking truth. Truth to power. Yes.
One-sided.
No, it's not.
It's very white-sided.
Oh, come
it's very
on,
one-sided. It's very like
It's not white-sided. I'm not
Yeah, I
doubting you've had
think
business
that's
issues. I'm
G,
saying
man,
the way to respond to that
because
is not to
it's,
go publicly to millions of
not
people
me.
and say you're going
Silent.
DEFCON 3 and Jewish
No,
people.
millions of people.
All right.
Millions of
children
people
will
have
be
had DEFCON 3 on their
embarrassed.
contracts.
Right. You
Millions
didn't.
of
You
people
didn't
have
say
went
that.
home to their
You
girl
didn't say
and
that.
said, millions of people. Well, I open it up now. I didn't, but now I'm saying it now on a platform live with lawyers asking questions, and we'll have the top lawyers like Johnny Cochran, Robert Kardashian level legal team, looking at all of these contracts together. After that moment happens, then I will say I'm sorry.
Okay, if that's your position.
Interview adjourned. Love you.
That's the end of the interview.
That's right.
I
Hey,
just get the feeling from
Bree.
you. You're
Hey,
obviously a complex character, brilliant in many ways, fascinating,
and don't
I would say,
ask me questions.
You have a huge appeal to millions of people around the world. It just seems to me that occasionally your mouth gets you into trouble, and that perhaps on reflection.
Bree, he's in an interview. You shouldn't ask him any questions. If you ask him questions, you're part of the agenda. You're part of the left. Not only are you part of the left, it's also your duty to understand where he was coming from before he made those comments. He's here to come and clarify. The questions are designed to get these answers from him, but he deflects, he meanders, just rigmaroles around the question purposely, doesn't answer, and just made things worse for himself. After this interview, he's just gone. I think they said he's with college. His college has been shut down. All the people, everyone's just hands off. No, we want nothing to do with this. The world is changing. Guys, the world as you know it. Some people would say, oh, I wish the world can, I wish America can go back to the way it was 50 years ago. 50 years ago, the rights you have now, you wouldn't have had it then. Some people will say, oh, it was better back in those days. Back in those days, you were younger. The things that you cared about now, the things you care about now, you didn't care for then. You're in a different stage of your life. The things you care about now are not the same. It's just like me. If I come here now and tell you, oh, it was better when I was a teenager. Of course it was better when I was a teenager. I didn't have bills. I was someone else's responsibility. Hence why it was better. But now, I am my own responsibility. Nobody is coming to save me. Nobody. I've got to save myself. No one. I've lost both my mother and my father. They're both gone. Brothers, sisters, they've all got their own families. I'm the last thing on their mind. My children are now my responsibility. So you can imagine, oh, I've got it really hard. Oh, life is hard. Oh, if only life can go back to it. Make America great again. When was America ever great? I think that America is great now. That's my opinion. America is great now. It will be greater in the next few years with the right leaders, with the right decisions made. But America, once upon a time, was a racist country. America, once upon a time, they were buying slaves and bringing it to the bringing them to the Americas. No, America wasn't great. Once upon a time, black and white people could not be on the same bus, could not eat from the same table, could not. And you want America to be great again? When was it ever great?
Sometimes you look back and wish you hadn't said things. Is that accurate?
Nah, not really. Because the things I
It's
say
Crimson.
are
Hey,
on behalf of
Crimson.
God. Like, it's not always godly because I'm a man, but God is
Gosh,
definitely using me.
Gatler.
You're
Hey,
Catholic faith.
I am
What's your
Catholic.
is
background?
Crimson
Catholic,
here?
yeah.
Did I see Crimson?
Well,
Where's
we're
Crimson?
working for God here, and it's just like with
Oh, we're
black people now with
working for
entertainment,
God.
we're coming into wealth, but all the other black people
mm.
with anywhere near my amount of wealth would never cross the lines of taboos inside of the media that actually we used to in rap. All these words we used to say these, so it's all these like words that are being
Hey,
removed from our
Crimson.
vocabulary,
Okay,
words that
Crimson.
evoke emotion.
Hey, good
Don't
to
you feel
see
like
you,
the salt is
Crimson
being taken
Centurion.
out of our food?
Hey.
Look at Dune. The people who control the salt controlled all the money, and people are trying to control the salt, and it's salt in our language. That's why I would not apologize for having a bit of salt in my words. I will say, hey, this can be improved on, but it's like, hey, look, I'm gonna update. You're looking at the God's iPhone 100. We are God's iPhone, right? If you think about it, we're His favorite creation. We were made in His image.
And this right here is where we have the God problem. They say we are God's iPhone. Is it iPhone 5, iPhone 6, or iPhone 13? Which iPhone? People make statements and don't think about what they're saying. You're God's iPhone. iPhone is an inanimate object. I mean, no, what do you call this? Put this on the floor. It's broken. In a few years, this phone its functions gone, battery life gone. These people are like an iPhone in the hands of their God. Thank goodness I don't share their God belief. I am not no iPhone in the hands of anybody. Their God uses them, Christians, as an iPhone. Pick one up and just ding, 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 ding. Just call. We are iPhones in the hands of, because we are created. He says we are created in God's image. Then God must be an iPhone. No, he said we are iPhones in the hands of God. In the next breath, he said we are created in God's image. You know what that means? God is an iPhone 12, iPhone 13.
Mm.
Android rules. Hey, Phil's here. Hey, I didn't see you.
Mm.
We are in the hands of God, Phil. Phil's eating.
Who's that guy?
All right.
Who's that guy?
We are iPhones. My goodness. Android rules. Crap. No. Okay, Dr. Cyrus, this is where we're going to have a problem. Dr. Cyrus, no, 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 no. iPhones rule. iPhones rule. When I used my very first iPhone, that was it. I was hooked. I was hooked. I could not use no, 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 no. Do not use an Android phone. Keep the Android. No. Want nothing to do with Android. Just give me an iPhone. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm not an Android person at all. Android rules, crapwood rules. Boo. Boo, Dr. Cyrus.
So who's that guy?
Okay, Dr. Cyrus. Yeah, you may be right. Never used Android before. I have many, many years ago. Many years ago. I have. I had a BlackBerry. I loved my BlackBerry. Oh my God. It was a BlackBerry Z10. Just came out. I loved that BlackBerry. But it only lasted a few weeks. I don't know what I did something to it and it just went kaput. But I love my BlackBerry. It was so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Pay $1,000 for an iPhone. That's a 300. $300 Android. That's because you don't. That's because anyway. You know what? We can have this fight later on. Because right now we are talking about God. We're talking about people being iPhones in the hands of God. Mm-mm-mm.
Hmm.
Kanye says we're iPhones.
That guy is
Yes,
promoting
I saw something
iPhone.
about the iPad. Let's see. Because I listen. I still use my iPod. You still use the iPod?
Wow.
No way. I still got mine, but I haven't tried it. Whether it still works. God, if it works, I would love to know what music I've got in there. I've got it. I know where it is. I had an iPod mini, this small one. Oh, I used to love that. Anyway, never mind. No more. Better move on. Okay, all right, Crimson. I'll move on. No more talk of the iPhone or the Android, because if we carry on, we will fight. We'll butt heads. So let's not go
Oh
there.
my God.
Mm-mm.
And we need updates. And society,
Oh,
capitalism,
guys, let me take that back a little bit. The guy said we are iPhones in the hands of God and we need updates. Okay, Mr. Kanye, if we need updates, who is going to update your Bible? The Bible that you people read, that ancient book that is not relevant to today, your contextual book, the context of that book does not fit in today's society.
Yeah.
Your book fits a different context. Who is going to update the book? Never mind, you need updating, but who is going to update the book that you read from? The one that talks about slavery, the one that talks about how evil and immoral your God is. Who's going to update that? So we need updating. But the book, the old book that Jesus had no business writing. Jesus did not write. Jesus was here on earth, but Jesus didn't bother to write a book. It was the people went to go and get Paul's letters. Paul's letters. Even Paul himself did not tell those people, look, guys, when I'm gone, put my letters into canon and make it the guide for your life. He didn't say that. He wrote to them specific messages to them. Corinthians, Corinth, to Thessalonian church. And now, thousands of years later, some people went and got Paul's letters and made it into the word of God. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
because the things I say are
Ian
on behalf of
Davenport,
God.
thank
Like,
you. Thank
it's
you
not only
very
godly
much.
because I'm a man, but God is definitely using me.
Thank you.
You're Catholic faith?
I am,
What's your
yes.
background?
I am
What's your
Catholic,
religious-
yeah.
Well, we're working for God here, and it's
So, guys, my links are there. If you want to make a contribution to the channel, please go on and, bless your girl. Yes, every little helps. Why not? And don't forget, in case some of you might wonder, okay, does she need money? I'm not a rich person. I'm not like Kanye. I don't want to be as rich as him. Money can make people horrible. I don't want to be as rich as Kanye. No, just no. Even the nicest of people, when they have money, can just become monsters, evil monsters. No, I don't want to be as rich as Kanye. No. Mm-mm. Afro-humanist. Now we know what you're spending on that super chat money. Overpriced phones. Let me tell you, listen, let me tell you this, right? Here in the UK, we there's something that happens. You go to the phone company, you get a contract, a 2-year contract. You get a nice phone, and every month you pay certain amounts, but you don't pay well. In the long run, you're paying more for the phone than you would pay if you were to buy it outright. But at least it gives you the chance to you can use a good phone, and every month for 24 months you pay. So I've recently upgraded, and okay, I wish I didn't, because my goodness, energy bills are going up, everything's going up, and I'm by myself with my 2 boys. So, and the boys always come first. Well, and mom's phone. Mom needs a nice phone. Come on, come on. Mom needs a nice phone. Come on. Right, Phil?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. It looks like Phil's not able to talk. Yeah, I do need a nice phone. Come on, guys. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
let me do that for myself. You know, I don't buy designer clothes. I can't even afford them shit. But at least an
A
iPhone.
quality phone.
Yeah.
A quality
Okay.
phone.
Overpriced phones is buying a phone from Dollar General. They won't tell you it's used and has a planet worth of problems. True. I only paid for a phone outright once when I was 16. Natalie Sparkle, right? So do you also do like the contract phones where you
Mm.
get a phone and you pay monthly for 24 months? How many? Yeah, so that's how it works here.
Yeah.
I know I'm paying a handsome amount, but I'm worth it.
But
The
this is
BlackBerry.
easy over the
Oh, the
months.
BlackBerry.
Okay.
I love my BlackBerry. I did. Oh, it was the Z10. Never forget. Never forget my Z10. So beautiful. Anyway, it's okay, guys. Yes, Queen Cat Lady. Yes, that's why I love Queen Cat Lady. Says yes. We
Mm?
ladies deserve a cool gadget. A gadget or two. Several gadgets.
I
Some
love gadgets.
gadgets, could vibrate. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some gadgets might have a little vibrating action going on. Yes, we ladies need gadgets.
Gadgets.
And make sure, ladies, to get some vibrating ones as well. You need those secret vibrating gadgets. I think I need to get me one of those. Those ones where I've seen some people. There was something I saw the other day. It was panties that vibrate,
Vibrate.
and
What?
the partner can control.
Oh,
No, I don't know if it's the
whoa.
panties that vibrate or it's the
Mm.
the actual small vibrator, but the partner gets to control the vibrator. Oh my god.
Ooh.
How do you do that? How do you go
Whoa.
out in the public and you've got a vibrator stuck up you? Some people are
People
just
are like,
crazy.
oh, what's going on there?
So guys, when you go out and about, right? And you see a lady and she just does the jerking movement, just suspect. She's a suspect. She's probably got a vibrator
Vibrator. Mm-hmm.
there somewhere. Mm-mm-mm.
Especially if there's a really
Electric
big
meters,
smile on the
yes.
face.
Apparently, there's something. I think.
Electric meters. Okay.
Ah, forgiveness. Can't even say if he's good at controlling those. Oh my goodness. Oh, listen. Carnivorous ape. That's his specialty. He is the master of that game. My God, that thing he just bought. Okay. Right. We went from it always happens. Ms. Mazani, it always happens around here. Always does. We always end up talking about those kind of things. So just so you know, that's what always happens. Okay, let's finish this man's talk. I actually think Kanye needs some vibrating toys in his life. He needs some of that because this man.
Just like with Black people now with entertainment, we're coming into wealth, but all the other Black people with anywhere near my amount of wealth would never cross the lines of taboos inside of the media that I would, that actually we used to in rap. All these words, we used to say these, so it's all these like words that are being removed from our vocabulary, words that evoke emotion. Don't you feel like the salt is being taken out of our food? Look at Dune. The people who control the salt controlled all the money, and people are trying to control the salt, and it's salt in our language. That's why I would not apologize for having a bit of salt in my words. I will say, hey, this can be improved on, but it's like, hey, look, I'm an update. You're looking at the God's iPhone 100. We are God's iPhone, right? If you think about it, we're his favorite creation. We were made in his image, and we need updates. And society, capitalism, media, and thought.
If we are God's iPhone, we are made in his image. God is an iPhone. I didn't know God was an iPhone. We are the iPhone 100. We are made in God's image. So God must be the ultimate iPhone. So guys, I'm sorry for you Android users. God is not an Android. God is an iPhone. So I guess it's time for you to change your Android to an iPhone. So you can look, your phone can look like God.
Thought police have been stopping us from our updates. We have to have a thought, and then we have to actualize it. I like the word actualize better than execute because execute's a negative word. We discussed this. We have to actualize. There's so many. Think about, for a homosexual kid, age 12 at school, not wanting to say out loud how he felt, or feeling like if he said how he felt, he would get bullied. Or what if he said how he felt, and then somebody said, you said the way you felt and what your experience was in the wrong way. Now you need to apologize. We're fine that you felt that way, but you need to apologize for the way you said it. But just having the courage to do it in the first place would be, that's the thing that needs to be given credit. Like, yeah, you know what? We'll say in these past 2 weeks, I made a big splash. Because the first time you dive in the deep end, you're not going to look like an Olympic swimmer. But we're going to have to learn how to swim. And I've dived in the deep end.
Okay, I think I understand what you're saying. Let me ask you about your family. Yeah, lots of speculation, of course, constantly.
If you understand what I'm saying, could you translate what I'm saying?
Yes.
I want you to translate what I said, and then let's move on to the next question.
Okay, well, let me attempt to translate.
What did I mean by that?
I think what she meant was that you are not afraid to ruffle feathers. You're not afraid to cause trouble where you feel it's justified. You're not afraid to call people out who you think deserve to be called out. But then occasionally, you've expressed yourself in a way that perhaps hasn't quite hit the right mark, and that you are work in progress, as indeed we all are, and that you could phrase things better, which would cause less offense to a wider number of people, when in fact the target of your anger may be much more specific. That would be my interpretation of what you've just said.
Do you think that we can move forward as a civilization without there being any offense? Because one person's truth can be the other person's lie.
I think it entirely depends. I think it entirely depends. Honestly, part of me wants to say yes to that, but I do think there is a line, and we should all be mindful of the line. And the line to me is I don't think any form of racism or perceived racism should ever be tolerated. I don't think that is free speech. It's just hate speech. And I think one of the problems with what you said about the Jewish people was the more generic way that you phrased that sentence. People didn't understand you were talking about specific business people you'd had a problem with. They thought you genuinely meant you were going DEFCON 3 on all Jewish people, and they took that to be a blatant form of anti-Semitism. I think you've explained in this interview that was not your intention at all, which is good. But I think if you're asking me to interpret what you've just said yourself, that would be my interpretation. That you're work in progress, and sometimes you say stuff
which
doesn't quite get over what you're really meaning.
Guys, do you know that after he left this interview, I don't know if it was before or after, Kanye gave another interview, and it looks like Kanye is a Holocaust denier. There are some people that deny events of the Holocaust. And it looks like Kanye is one of such people. A Holocaust denier. So he keeps just putting his feet in. He just keeps on. He's going further down that rabbit hole.
So
These people that are preaching this, black people are Jews. Black
oh
people are
God.
the original Jews. What is the end goal?
Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to achieve? That you are somehow special. You're somehow special. Why? You're special to God. Don't you understand that your God is showing favoritism?
Yep.
The fact that
But
God selects a few people and say, these are my people, and everyone else is the enemy. Now you want the black race to now be that God's people, God's favorite. Why would I want that for myself? How about
I don't know.
prove that God exists first? Why do some black people want to be Jews so bad? Jews have their own problems that they're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard some Jewish people say, look, that they ask themselves, why would anyone in their right thinking mind want to choose this for themselves? You have 600 laws in the Old Testament.
Torah.
They don't call it the Old Testament.
The
It's the
Torah.
Christians that call it the Old Testament. In their books,
The-
over 600 laws that you've got to live by. So when you say, oh, we blacks, we're Jews, you want, so it's not enough that the black race have had to go through slavery.
Yeah.
Now you want to go and enslave them even further with this imaginary deity.
Yeah.
Now we must go and serve and worship God. Do these people realize that the Jewish, when I read the what they call the Old Testament, they used to sacrifice animals to this God. They want to go back to doing that? To sacrifice
Wow.
animals on an altar? Is that what they want to do?
So,
Honestly, nice background. Thank you, Crimson. I did all of that by myself. Yes.
very talented.
Guys, why would anybody want to be a Jew? Do you realize if you choose to be a Jew, then you've got to follow all those laws? All the laws, you've got to follow all of them. So why choose that kind of life for yourself? And why does God have favorites? Why? Why does your God have favorites? I don't understand it.
That God is
I
not.
can't hear you, Phil.
You can't hear me?
Are you trying to say something?
Yeah, you can't
Can't
hear
hear
me?
Have you changed your background? Because you don't look like you're
I
in
am
the
on the
same
tablet.
place.
I'm on the
I
tablet.
don't know.
I'm on the tablet.
Can't hear you, Phil. What's Phil trying to do? Okay, let's finish this here.
But what I really mean is, I don't want it to be settled. I don't want to be forgiven by Jewish people until we get to what the problem really is. I don't want, like Elon, he got on Twitter, he said, I talked to Ye, he took it to heart. And I liked my boy standing up for me, but I was like, the fight isn't done though. Everybody, white media, left media, they just want to squash the fight. They want to keep the pain of George Floyd going, right? But they don't want the pain of our representatives.
What did Elon Musk say to you about
Jewish
the
business
tweet, out of interest?
influence patriotism on capitalists. And it's a responsibility for us as Americans to retake our power in media, to retake our power in our schools, to retake our power in our farms, to retake our power in our medicine, in our hospitals, to revitalize the country, because America invented rock and roll at the end of the day. We have the inventions. America created Apple. You understand? Like, we created the platforms that the world runs on now, and we've allowed the business people in these companies to sell us, and whatever the term is, sell them in a handbag, whatever it is, for cheap. And Americans are God-fearing, for the most part, God-fearing Christian people, and we're not cheap, and we can't be sold for cheap. And we're here to stand up and say, you got to.
Congratulations, Americans. You all are God-fearing people. Yeah, that's what Kanye said. So, Americans, this right here is what caused all that January 6th problems.
Yep.
We are a Christian nation. We have Christian values. Never mind the unbelievers and the ones who. We want our God. We want our God in the White House. We want our God in schools. We want our Bible. This is it. This is the problem.
To retake our power in our farms, to retake our power in our medicine, in our hospitals, to revitalize the country, because America invented rock and roll at the end of the day. We have the inventions. America created Apple. You understand? Like, we created the platforms that the world runs on now, and we've allowed the business people in these companies to sell us, and whatever the term is, sell them in a handbag, whatever it is, for cheap. And Americans are God-fearing, for the most part, God-fearing Christian people, and we're not cheap, and we can't be sold for cheap. And we're here to stand up and say, you got to honor who we are, our families. You got to honor our God, Jesus Christ. So, next subject.
You have to honor our families. You have to honor our God, Jesus Christ. Who is honoring your God? Guys, is this the American dream? When they say the American dream, is this what they're talking about? When they say the American dream? We want you to respect our God. That's us living the American dream. Is that what they call the American? Respect our God. Okay. Respect Jesus. I don't think so. No, not me. I wouldn't respect Jesus. I don't like the guy.
Let me ask you something else here. I want to ask you about your family, because you mentioned families there. A lot of stuff has been written about you and your family. A lot of it fueled by you, by Kim, by others. Where are things now with your family? What is your relationship like with Kim, with your kids?
Kim has Zionist media handlers.
What's his
Surrounding
relationship
her, all in and out her Hulu
to the
TV
kids?
show, all in and out her family, all in and out the house that I created for my family. But God is alive. The devil is a defeated foe, and Kim is a Christian woman, and she's not here just to have content up on adult channels. She's not here just to have that last interview magazine cover. If you look at the two interview magazine covers, look at the one when I was there and look at the one when I'm not there. And that's the reason why this Tuskegee experiment of such that's happened to the Black community, where they took the fathers out of the home and the leaders out of the community and have torn apart the community. Now they've seen that's worked, and they're doing that to America. They're attempting, they're trying.
I mean, the interview magazine cover you're talking about, I think, is the one where she was basically semi-naked in front of the American flag. And I thought that was pretty distasteful, actually. It was about the American dream. And I thought, well, if that's the American dream, we're all screwed. I mean, in America.
And I agree with that. And I didn't feel the platform to voice my opinion, because I want to, it's always like, hey, this is your kid's mother. But it's time with the leaders. Like, I'm still the priest of that home, Chris. I'm still the priest of that home. They want to make it this matriarch society, all that. And, but I am the priest of this home, and God is.
Him and Kanye are no longer together, but he is still the priest of Kim Kardashian's home. He's the head of the home. He's no longer a part of. Now I see why the two of them had to split up. I bet Kim felt stifled by this guy. They asked him about his family. And the first thing out of his mouth is that Kim has Zionists around her, but that Kim is a Christian woman. Could it be that he was the one who converted her into Christianity? But she has all these Zionists around her. She did two front cover, the magazine front cover things. I don't know what they call those. It's saying, check the two of them out. One when I was still with her, and the second one when I was no longer with her, and see the difference. And he then goes on to explain, and that's why the system wants to remove fathers from the home. They want to remove fathers from the home so that they can have immoral children, immoral members of the society, godless people. Once you take the fathers out of the home, some fathers are just horrendous fathers. Some fathers they don't deserve the title father. Some are just sperm donors. They don't have a clue what they're doing. Some homes are better off without those fathers in them. Some fathers are the terrorists in their own home. Yes, these people will come and tell you, oh, they want the fathers out. They want the father. Some homes do not need the fathers in there. The fathers are the problem. I was watching a documentary just yesterday. You know the story of that. There's a family, husband and wife, that had 15 children and were keeping them locked up, keeping them in chains. Turpine, is it Turpine family? Is it Turpine they call? His father was doing all these crazy things, father and mother. Some fathers do not deserve the title of father.
Alive. I am the living Robert Kardashian, and I'm going to stand up for what God would want as a Christian. And then people say as a Christian, oh, you're not supposed to curse, you're not supposed to have righteous indignation, but I do. You know, Christians had swords also. Christians got guns, I tell you that. You know, so
but do you talk to Kim? I mean, there have been reports today that you and Kim don't really talk at the moment. She's distancing herself from you because of the stuff you've been saying was getting controversy. Is that true?
In most cases, Miss Sani, in most cases, they walked away.
Also, so I'm not saying that, you know, they're making the right decisions.
When I was growing up, nobody removed my father from the home. Nobody. He left by himself. He chose to not do his duty as a father and a husband. He was off with different women, just nobody removes these fathers from the home. What the government do, they support women that cannot on their own, they struggle. And these people like Kanye will say, oh, they're trying to help the woman so that she doesn't need a man in her life. No, the men will not step up to the plate and do what they're supposed to do. Who will suffer then? It's the children. Some people just say things and don't even think about it.
She's being influenced.
She's being
I guarantee you
influenced.
what's not going to happen, we're not going to see her in one of them John Legend Christmas sweaters no time soon.
But do you talk to her? Are you still in touch
Don't
with
you,
her?
wait, so don't you think it's like funny to like make a joke out of stuff sometimes? Don't you think like God has a sense of humor? But watch this. God, when I got married, I bought this house. I like, you know what I'm saying? I did this tour and
God
spent all the
has
money
a
I had on this
sense
house
of
to like
humor.
surprise Kim and give her this house that she wanted, at least Marie Presley used to own. And then I got the house and then I put all this money into renovation. And then there goes the neighborhood. Drake moves down the street, 5 blocks. And that's when I knew God was funny. funny. But watch, this is where God is even funnier. Here goes like Louis C.K. part 2 level, because Louis C.K. is the funniest man alive. Uncancel him now, right? So and he was funnier before he was canceled, because all he would do is the type of jokes that you get canceled on, right? So I got an office, and outside of Crenshaw, like in an opportunity zone, and it's office 57,000 square foot office. It's the one that Tucker Carlson came to visit me at. And I look out the window, and whose office is being built, a brand new one? The Skims office. It's like, who's writing this stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like, God is funny. So that's the thing. We always got to be like, we got to be funny. We got to have a sense of humor. Like,
But yeah, let me ask you.
There's a lot. Yeah.
But are you sad that you're getting divorced? Are you sad the relationship came to an end?
That Tucker Carlson came to visit me at, and I look out the
Sorry,
window, and
it's just gone to a
office
different
is being
clip.
built, a brand new one. The Skims office. It's like, who's writing this stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like, God is funny. So that's the thing. We always got to be like, we got to be funny. We got to have a sense of humor. Like,
But yeah, let me ask you.
There's a lot. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I beg to differ. The God that Kanye speaks of is not funny, has not got a sense of humor. A God that builds and creates hellfire has not got a sense of humor. A God that is ready to punish people for the simplest of errors. No sense of humor with that God. A God that would rather sacrifice his own son instead of saving his own children hasn't got a sense of humor. A God that would build a tree, the tree that would bring down his own people. He knew that eating of this tree would cause them to fall. He still built the tree anyway. If he had a sense of humor, he would have kept it out of sight, this tree. But no, he keeps it right in the center of the garden. He's all-knowing. So he knew they would eat of this tree, and then still punishes them for eating out of. He punishes them here on earth. After punishing them here on earth, he now goes on to go and prepare even greater punishment for them after they are done on earth. Tell me that your God is funny. I want to vomit. What kind of stupid statement is that? A God that you have to be constantly afraid of. You're afraid you can't. Kanye cannot have sex now that he's no longer with Kim. If he's a true Christian man, he shouldn't have a girlfriend. Let's talk about their God is funny. A God that requires the blood sacrifice of his own child. What's funny about that one? A God that tells, what's his name? Abraham, go and sacrifice your son to me. What? Because he's testing him. He wants to test Abraham. So go and sacrifice. And that's the moron. Abraham, a big moron, takes his own child, ready with knives, to go and sacrifice his own child. He would have done it. His plan was to do it. For a God that can't. Anyway, before they say I hate their God. But all I'm saying is in the book, right, guys?
Yep.
I haven't made these things up. You don't have to make up anything. You read the book, it's all in there.
Yeah.
And they tell you hate God.
Yeah, definitely. You can't hear
Why
me?
would you hate something that is imaginary? Why?
But are you sad that you're getting divorced? Are you sad the relationship came to an end?
That happened 2 years. We got the divorce 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Are you
we're
actually?
we've been got divorced.
Hello.
Yeah. I mean, let me rephrase that. Are you sad that you're no longer together? That you're divorced?
Oh, I've got echo.
Hello?
We'll always be together. She dresses exactly like me. What do you mean? Like my kids are me. You know, there's no person that you'll ever get with that will influence her more than God and then her priest on earth, which is me. You know, whether it's the Skims clothing line, the designers, the architects, all those people. You got the Clintons, the left, utilizing what we built together to try to use her as an influence for.
Okay, guys, can you hear the echo now? I haven't touched anything. I haven't touched anything. Looks like when Phil's coming on,
They were hearing an echo.
I'm not sure what's happening, but
You can hear?
I haven't touched anything. Let's see. Audio.
Let's see.
Okay.
Can you
Hold on.
hear?
Hold on 1 second. It might be.
Can you hear an echo?
Okay, I can
You
hear
can
you
hear
now,
me?
Phil. Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Is the I was using my earbuds apparently, and the thing like is not picking up the mic. That's
So,
what happened.
can you hear me?
Yeah. No, I was hearing you all along. It's just
Oh,
that you
were
were not
you?
being able. Yeah.
So all that time you were talking.
Yeah. At that one point, I didn't realize that you
Oh
couldn't hear
no,
me.
so sorry.
That's okay. That's alright. That's alright. It's okay. I thought it would have worked without these headphones, but because I had on earbuds. Yeah. But,
So guys, can
I
you all hear it now? Oh, I'm so
are they
sorry.
hearing the echo? They're not anymore.
Oh. So
They're
guys,
hearing.
I honestly don't know. You sound a bit different though. Are you using a
Yeah,
different
because I was
mic?
using my pad, my tablet.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so it
Oh
sound a
my
bit
goodness.
different. But
I
they're
was
hearing the echo. Oh, they said the echo is gone.
echo is gone. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Oh
that's okay.
no.
That's no problem. It's not your fault. That's no problem.
No echo
I
anymore.
am
Phil
heading
caught it on the
for
stream. Phil.
Karen's.
Okay, so you're going now.
Yeah, I'm going for Karen.
Okay, okay, okay.
No,
All right then.
right.
All right. Phil is a good husband. He's off to go and pick up his wife.
Yeah, from the
Nice.
gym. Good.
Oh,
Yeah,
from the
so
gym.
I'll be back.
Oh, very
Hmm.
nice. Okay, Phil.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. There was I'm so sorry, everyone. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay, nearly done. Okay, so Mr. Kanye and his Miss Kim, they're no longer together. Asked about, he says she dresses like him. If I'm no longer with you, and then you start to dress like me, we have a problem. We have, when I'm done with you, just, well, depending on what terms we have parted, what, how we parted ways. Usually when I'm done, that's it, I'm done. We can still be friends, but mentally, in my head, I've got to, detach. I've got to try and detach so I can move on with the rest of my life. But Mr. Kanye says she dresses like him.
That happened 2 years. We got the divorce 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Are you
pissed.
actually?
We've been got divorced. What are you talking
Yeah. I mean, let me rephrase that. Are you sad that you're no longer together? That you're divorced?
We'll always be together. She dresses exactly like me. What do you mean? Like my kids are me. You know, there's no person that you'll ever get with that will influence her more than God and then her priest on earth, which is me. You know, whether it's the Skims clothing line, the designers, the architects, all those people. You got the Clintons.
No wonder. No wonder. No wonder she left him. Guys, did you hear that? Did you hear that? This guy.
That happened 2 years. We got the divorce 2 years.
Yeah.
Yo, we're
Are you
pissed.
actually
We've been got divorced.
Yeah. I mean, let me rephrase that. Are you sad that you're no longer together, that you're divorced?
We'll always be together. She dresses exactly like me. What do you mean? Like my kids are me. There's no person that you'll ever get with that will influence her more than God and then her priest on earth, which is me. Whether it's the Skims clothing line, the designers, the architects, all those people. You got the Clintons, the left.
But does Kanye realize that she may not share the same beliefs as himself? She's entitled to her own mind. She can believe whatever she wants to believe. This guy is still convinced that somehow he still controls that woman. He is the priest over her. And she's still connected to God somehow. And this is the problem with religion. Religion, someone said that religion is toxic. Someone said that religion makes good people do bad things. Come on. This is toxic. This is highly toxic. Nobody can make him do whatever she wants except God and her priest, which is himself.
Utilizing
Misogyny.
what
Yes.
we built together to try to use her as an influence for the Black culture and the word culture in general for the next elections. They need those 300 million followers from Kylie and Kim on their side going into their election as they push trauma culture to the Black people again, as they claim any of my questions of business dealings to be anti-Semitic comments, and push, Kim to, as a billionaire mother of a lawyer and a mother of 4 Jew Black children, to do covers like Interview. And that's what happens when they take the dads out the home. And that's what they've been doing in the hood. They take the fathers and the leaders out of the homes. And if we keep on allowing this to happen and we don't have some level of a decency clause.
They take the fathers out of the homes. Okay. Would you rather have a father who is a drug dealer than to have a father at home? What is the price some kids have to pay just to have their fathers at home? Some of these fathers are the ones who are abusing the children. Why? Because we must have the father. And some mothers are in abusive, toxic relationships. But because of the children, I'd rather stay here. Because of the children, let me stay here. Oh, God hates divorce. Let me stay here. Religion is terrible, eh?
Inside of our media on what everyone sees. Like when I was young and I would go to the video store, if I wanted to go into the adult section, it was a curtain. It was a person sitting there watching, making sure that kids didn't go in. If the kids went into that section, there was a video camera and you'd be escorted out of that section. Now that section is forced through TikTok. That section is subverted and kind of mixed with the drink inside of music directed at children, inside of content through Disney, on Hulu, which is Disney also. And
this right here is what I was talking about before. When people say, make America great again. Oh, when I was growing up, it was much better back then than it is now. Context. Back then, you were a child. You were young. You cared about child stuff. You didn't even know what was going on in the big wide world out there. You saw things from a child's eye. Then, now, Things have moved along. Things have changed. And now you can't see things. You're not in the same place as you were when you were a child. But now you want to relate 2022 to 2000. You want to have the free things you had then. You want to have the leeway you had then. You want to have, or you went into a store to go and buy pornography, and now the pornography is being forced. Then when you were younger, you had to go and buy pornography, and even then you were monitored. But now it's now put on the TikTok. It's now developed. It's now in the children's faces. Hello, that's technology. You use that technology too. I would not be surprised if Kanye accesses porn on his phone. Gosh.
So many branded commercials to confuse children
They
and to
confuse
sexualize
children.
our children way too
Sexualize
early
Yeah, can I
before
just-
they can even make their own decisions
Can-
about
yeah,
their
Who's
life.
You make
sexualizing
some very
which
interesting
kids?
points again. Just to clarify one thing, though, you are
Who's
actually divorced, are you?
sexualizing
Because
kids?
my understanding was that you weren't actually divorced yet.
I ask God the same question some mornings. Am I divorced, God? am I divorced? Because I might be divorced on paper, but I'm not divorced of the idea of being the protector of not only this person who is so influential. Imagine Kim making all of her decisions that she does publicly. Grown folks' business is grown folks' business. Never know what could happen with a little sippy or whatever. But, all the decisions that she makes publicly being based on an audience of one. And Pierce, what audience do you think I'm saying that is?
Well, you.
No, not me. For us as Christians, right? Who is our audience? We have an audience of one.
Well, you mean God.
God. So picture this world, envision this world. Here's another one. This is past what I'm saying about having the heads of the football teams and the basketball teams and the music industry opening up their contracts the way I do, right? Picture the most influential woman on the planet, which is Kim Kardashian, right? And I got this one thing I want to definitely say in the interview. Picture the most influential person on the planet, the most influential woman on the planet performing in public only for that audience of one, for God. Imagine the overwhelmingly positive effect that will have on the planet. And mark these words, it will happen
God.
someday.
Okay.
And I had this, of course I'm divorced, and this is like a funny thing I thought. Being that her name is...
This guy was asked, are you divorced? It was a simple yes or no. And we would have been done. No. The guy says that some days he has to ask God himself, am I divorced or am I still married? Because he feels like he is the protector. These are the kind of people you get in a relationship with. They stalk you even after you're no longer together, because somehow they feel that they are tied. This thing that some people call the destiny, that your destinies are somehow attached to each other. Soulmates. I don't like the idea of soulmates. Soulmates. It's just... No. Well, there's some people you have a lovely bond with, yes. But that you're tied to the hip with this person, oh, no. No. Soulmates. This is terrible. This guy... Kim needs to be careful.
no longer West.
Not that I like Kim. I'm not keen. She's too... I don't know. She's not real. She's just not genuine. Not genuine, in my opinion.
And my name is no longer Ye. If there was ever, being that her name is no longer West and my name is now only Ye, if we were ever
Thank you, Paul.
to be together again, what would our name be? Kim Ye.
Would you like that?
Everything is up to God. And God has proven to me many times that it's not about what I want or what I would like. It's just up to him on what he sees fit.
But
David had to.
Let me ask you. I mean, but do you still love
to the
Kim?
sheep? Sorry, not with an S.
Do you still love Kim?
I absolutely love. I'll love her for life. And I will protect. Oddly enough, I'll actually protect her, because when I call out things that I feel are wrong, you know what I'm saying? When I make products, like say the difference between me and Bernard Arnault, like say, watch Elon Musk. Every product. The reason why Elon Musk is like a Steve Jobs is, if he makes a flamethrower, he would use that flamethrower. If he makes a Cybertruck, he would use that Cybertruck. Me, if I make some 3D printed boots, I'm gonna have the 3D printed boots on.
Wow,
and
I love
wear them
those.
every day.
Can I get a pair of those?
Absolutely, sir.
They were
Tucker
pretty
liked
soon,
them
man.
also. These boots are a hit.
Love those.
Yes.
They look fantastic.
Yeah.
Would you like to
Thank
one
you
day,
very much, sir.
do you think, given that you've got all these kids together, would you like one day to get back with Kim, do you think? Do you feel like you've gone through a very tumultuous period, but that actually the love underneath it all between two people remains? And would you like to get back together?
Those thirst traps still be fire.
Is that
Do you understand what I said? Do you understand that language?
I think so. I think so.
Language?
You better explain it to me. That actually the love underneath it all between two people remains. And would you like to get back together?
Those thirst traps still be fire.
Is that
Do you understand what I said? Do you understand that language?
I think so. I think so.
Language?
You better explain it to me.
What do you think those thirst traps still be fire means? Can you explain that to me?
Well, with my
Pierce?
rather
Explain
creative British
what
mind,
those thirst traps still be fire.
I would imagine it
With your
means that
creative, brilliant British man.
I would imagine it means you still fancy your ex-wife. Is that
Talking
right?
about thirst traps.
I would prefer to not be put on this. I would prefer to not be put on the spot on these kind of questions. What I can say is, God is alive, and he places people. He placed David in to tend to God had David tend to the sheep, knowing that one day he would prepare him to fight Goliath.
Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that day of me fighting Goliath has been this past 2 weeks. The media is Goliath. And there would be no chance of having a civil civilization or a civil democracy in America without.
I tell you, I don't know how these religious texts control people's lives so much. Stories in these books. These people can find anything they're going through in their lives. They can link it to some tale in their book. God this and God that. So Kanye is a David fighting Goliath. Huh? The media. And this right here is the problem. When is Kanye going to say, I am the problem? I'm the one who's being anti-Semitic. But no, it's the big giants out there, the Goliaths. Religion makes people shift the blame to imaginary beings or to things in their book. They just pick this. See why I don't like the Bible? See why I don't like the Bible? Me sitting here talking to you guys, if I was a religious person now, I would say the book of Esther in the Bible. I'm just like Esther, who left. What was the story of Esther again? She was fighting for her people. I don't know. You can always find something in these books. It's just terrible. God, Kanye, this guy is a.
Without me challenging the media 2 years out from the election. Because this thing that I'm challenging may be setting myself up to one day be able to be president, or it's maybe for the other president. But regardless, we have to have some decency in America as the thought leaders in the content that we put out.
But
and that's how
but on
God
that point,
is using me now.
On that point,
Yeah.
you keep talking about the media as if somehow it's the media that's created all this furore in the last 2 weeks. But you have said other things which, in my opinion, the media couldn't ignore. You know, you suggested in your interview with Tucker Carlson that Gap, for example, the clothing wear company, had prior knowledge of the Uvalde shooting, which is obviously completely insane. Why would you say that? And then why would you be surprised if the media then reacts to it?
This guy's dangerous. This guy's
What I'm saying is that was worded.
Yeah, guys, that's it. The video is quite long. You can just check if you want to watch the rest of it. It goes on and on and on. This guy is trying to blame the shooting that the people in is it Gap or somewhere, they knew about the shooting in Uvalde. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. What is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these Christians? American Christians, what's the way forward? What is the way forward? What exactly do you people want? You want the whole country to subscribe to your Christian values. It's not going to work. It's not going to help your communities. Because first of all, you all Christians can't even agree on simple doctrines. Well, we want Christian values. Christian values. What Christian values? Which denominations' values do you people want? The Catholics? The Baptists? Whose values exactly do these Christians want? And now you breed people like Kanye, talking about God. Every minute you ask questions, is God this, God that? God is the one orchestrating this. God is the one, I'm in war. I'm in war with the disciples. No, not disciples. I'm in war with the devil. Man, I don't hate, what's his name? Kanye West, but he is a problem. And to think that many young people who like his designs, Yeezy, it's Yeezy, they might listen to him and think, for him to have created this beautiful shoe, he must know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's talking rubbish. He's being anti-Semitic. Not that the Jewish people, I don't know. The Jewish people, as far as I'm concerned, why so much hate for them? Why? If they have chosen to live according to the dictates of their books, you are just exactly the same thing too. Guys, religion is toxic. Religion is a huge problem. Huge problem. They want to drag us back to the dark ages. Exactly. What kind of... You want Christian values for the US? What exactly are the values? You want your values from the 10 Commandments? Is that the values you want to subscribe to? So many problems that we have today. There's so many areas of life that your book does not address. Abortion subjects, you can't find it in the Bible. There's so many things. You can't find straightforward answers. People just go into the book and just add one text to one text. They cherry pick one. They will pull out one from the Old Testament, pull out one from Genesis, then go to Revelations all the way down to the end. Pull that one. And then go right in the middle, Nehemiah, and pull out and come up with a doctrine. How have you worked that one out? Those books are not coherent. They are not in harmony at all. Some people, they've put them in that sequence just to try and make the Bible look as though it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. It doesn't work. When you read the Bible, it just doesn't work. It's ridiculous. And some people live their lives according to, you say, read the Bible and do what it says. Really? The Bible talks about you offering your life as a slave to God. Being a slave to an imaginary being. They call it God. Just, hey, Randolph. I was listening to you in Clubhouse, Randolph, early on today. Oh, my goodness. Christian values. America. No, seriously, America. What's the way forward, man? What exactly is the way forward? I think sometimes Americans take for granted what they have. They want Christian values, right? Oh, Christian nation. They need to go and look at countries.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. No said that they want Christian nation. I heard today.
Huh?
They were talking about. I heard today on the British Broadcasting Corporation.
That's
Um, they were talking about Inquisition, the Spanish Inquisition, and how the Queen at the time she wanted a single religion, single Catholic religion, and they persecuted the Jews and killed Jews and other people of different religions when they did not conform. And
so.
that's
What
the
does that
problem.
mean?
That's the problem with where people want to have a single religion in a country.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else, as I normally say, everybody else suffers, including people of other religions and non-religion.
But Phil, it can't work with Christianity.
It can't work, but you know that they try the Catholic Church they try it, but
No, but it
because the
can't.
different denominations it don't work. They don't.
It can't work with Christianity because Christianity itself has
Has
so many different sects
yeah
of it.
sects,
So
but what will
which
happen is that
particular
one
sect
particular sect,
of will trump the others?
yeah, that's what will happen. That's what happens.
But then there'll be infighting among themselves.
Mm, yeah, and that's what happened historically. That's why people fled persecution. Other Christians fled persecution from other Christians to the U.S. to form the United States. It was fleeing persecution from other Christians that because each one thinks that they're right, you know, they have the
Mhm.
right Christianity,
Version of the Christianity.
of the Christianity.
Mm-mm.
That's the
You know,
problem. That's the
I
dangers.
think anytime these people say they want to have their Christian values, just ask them, okay, so when are the Christians going to come together and agree which one of them is right?
They're
You can't,
not
you
going to
can't,
never.
they're never gonna do that.
No, they never because they can never agree.
I can
I
never agree.
realize that never. Always interpretation. That's the problem because people will have these different interpretations. See, God is their God is the author of confusion, despite what they say. Bare
He's
confusion.
not. No, they
Can't
say he's not the.
clarify or make
He's
up.
not the author of confusion. Mm-mm.
Yeah. They will say he's not the author of confusion, but
Let
clearly
me just
evidence
tell you.
shows otherwise.
I've read
That
the
that.
Bible. Sorry. Let me just read this comment by Scapegoat. It says, I've
Go
read the
ahead.
Bible for 23 years now, and to me, at this point, it's just a boring mess. Listen, Scapegoat Iscariot, that boring mess
Yeah.
is also a cure for insomnia. Some people who struggle with insomnia at night just grab the
Oh my
Bible
gosh.
and just
Mm-hmm.
pretend that you're the Christian and your life depends on reading that book. Just try and read 4 chapters, 5 chapters, and see what happens. Boy, would you fall asleep.
Yeah.
You will fall
Especially
asleep.
reading the genealogies.
Oh, the
Oh my
begat.
gosh. The begats and
Mm.
oh god. Sent you to
Solomon
sleep.
Solomon begat this, and this one begat that, and then begat. My goodness. You know, they got this, they got the whole begat all the way to Joseph.
Yeah.
The
Oh
people
yeah.
the people who wrote those begats to Joseph, I think they must have had a brain malfunction when they did that, because did they forget that Joseph was not the father of Jesus?
Correct.
So the whole idea of showing us all that, the genealogy all the way to
Mm-hmm.
Joseph, was so that we can see that Jesus was from the lineage of
Of
David, the
David.
lineage of. But hang on, if Joseph's sperm did not uh, impregnate Mary, so whose sperm was it? It's the genealogy of whoever's sperm impregnated Mary. That's the person they should have done that. You know what? Okay. Let
Genealogy
me
for
okay. No, they
yeah.
weren't thinking, I don't think.
No, they were not. They
They
were trying to force Jesus's lineage. The Christians were trying to force his lineage back to David. Right? They're trying to force prophecies
the
onto
adoption
Jesus,
process.
right? Onto Jesus. And then the problem is when you look at the genealogies in different gospels, you
Mm-hmm.
realize there's contradictions.
Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm,
So
mm-mm.
they were forcing even the prophecies, claiming Isaiah was prophesying about Jesus. Isaiah never prophesied about any Jesus. None of the prophets did. They was just forcing things that were written by people of the time at that
Mm-hmm.
time onto Jesus, trying to make it look like. Even when in the Psalms where it talk about piercing, as soon as they hear the word pierce, they think, oh, attribute it to Jesus. Then it has nothing to do with Jesus. So it's a big scam.
It is this
Christianity is
now.
a big scam, a big grift.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that Christianity is a big scam. It is a big scam because
Yeah, it is.
the God of
But
Christianity, the God of Christianity
it's a scam
is
too.
yet to be proven to exist.
We're going to choose. Yeah,
There is no hardcore
no,
empirical
nothing.
evidence to prove
Evidence.
that God exists, but that God needs your money somehow. That
Yeah.
God
Mm-hmm.
that's yet to be proven to exist
Proven to
always
exist.
needs people's money.
Money. Yep. Yep.
Is it
Oh,
was it you
boy.
feel that called it griftianity? Somebody called
Somebody
it
call it griftianity. I think
griftianity.
I probably did, yeah, griftianity, or somebody in chat said griftianity.
A God that
That's
cannot
it.
provide his own money.
Correct. And
My
then
God.
guilting people for not giving money for people. Oh gosh. That thing where Jesus saw the lady going into the temple, according to the story, and give her last, so called last pence.
Oh, our last
And then
pennies.
and he praised her up. It
Yeah,
was like,
saying, "Oh,
that's sick,
she's given more than."
more than the others.
Jesus stood there and just
That, but
watching
you know,
this woman
that was
give
taught to us
everything.
as in Sunday school. I would never forget that.
Mm,
As a
mm.
young child, that was taught in Sunday school
Oh, the
as
Sleeper's
something.
Bible.
Hmm?
So Scapegoat Iscariot said the Sleeper's Bible comes without lines of passages to avoid before sleep. Okay.
Eh,
Never heard of that one. Well,
neither
who
me.
knew that the Bible would cure my sleep problem? Try it out. Just get yourself and my suggestion: don't get the scripture what you can read and you can that breaks down the English. Get the King James.
Oh
The
yeah,
King James, the one
the
that you
four
struggled to
three
get
type.
the that you thous and the these and
These, yeah.
thou shalt, that one, because while you're still struggling to figure out the thous and the these, you're falling asleep already. So yes,
Mm-hmm. Oh
that
boy.
voice
Oh
says,
gosh.
can we agree the Bible is racist, bigoted, and hateful to non-Jews? But if you follow that example and bring that energy to Jewish people, you're anti-Semitic. And this right here is the subject that a lot of people don't want to touch. Because when you read that book, you see a God telling his people, do this, go and kill these people, go and,
Yeah.
come on. We're in 2022. It's time we start addressing
Sin,
some
yeah.
of these hate fields.
Mm-hmm.
I actually consider the Bible hate speech,
It is,
in
and
my
it's
opinion.
it is hate
Hate
speech
speech.
and genocidal
When you tell people
speech,
because you don't
and
believe
racist.
what's in this book,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to hell.
Yeah, and it's
Something wrong with you.
racist too,
It is.
because that's why is, as you said earlier, where it shows favoritism to one particular group. Is tribalistic, is racist in that sense too,
Mhm.
because it's looking at a particular group of people and saying, "Oh, you're my favorites," to hell to the other groups. So sad.
It is. It is.
And the amount of mental contortions. Oh, you're not reading it within this context. Yeah,
Context.
right.
No, but
You be
no.
reading it
Hang on,
within its
Phil.
context.
Phil,
Hmm.
if your book is a contextual book, whatever context it's in does not fit whatever context we're talking about today.
No. Yeah.
That context was purposely for those people and not for any of us here now. And if God needs you to go and find a look for the exegesis, eisegesis, and the whatever Jesus to try and understand the text, does he not realize that the text is not sufficient?
Nope.
You know
And
what?
it's a poor form of communication.
God didn't communicate nothing in that book. God didn't tell the people who wrote it. Now, go
Anything.
and
So
write this down.
let me you just presuppose.
No, Phil. Is there
If
any
you
way?
presuppose that, and no, using the let's presuppose that for argument's sake that it was true. That form of communication is so poor. It shows you how poor, piss poor the God of their Bible is. Piss poor at communicating.
No, I actually beg to
Using
differ.
written language that anybody could
I beg to differ.
interpret different ways, and that's the problem.
I beg to differ. You know why?
Why?
Jesus, who was God. So God was here with us on earth, Phil. And God didn't bother to write a book. He didn't bother to tell the disciples, write my book. Now go draft. Let's write this down because I might be gone for 2,000 years and you all are going to. He didn't bother with that. Right? So after he had gone, did all his miracles and gone, then the people realized, oh shit, if we don't put something down. So now they're scrambling to try and remember what Jesus had said 50 years ago, to try and put in a book,
But
right?
mm-hmm.
That Jesus didn't ask them to write. So how can anyone tell me that that's the word of God?
But remember, they will claim also the Old Testament is the word of God and it came through God. Yeah, the New Testament and thing, but even so, even if they claim the Old Testament is the word of God, it is so full of errors and a comedy of errors that,
But God,
as I said,
but
that
God,
God
but
poor,
God
piss
doesn't
poor
speak.
at communicating.
God doesn't speak. So those are not his words,
Right, so
unfortunately.
that's not his words. God doesn't speak. But
Mm-hmm.
because using their argument that God exists and that God is perfect, you could clearly show the God of that story ain't perfect, ain't he used a poor form of communication.
Mm-hmm.
According to the story said, oh, God is perfect. Really? If he's perfect, then the communication should be bang on clear. Even
Exactly.
with Jesus, the communication should be bang on clear too. But it isn't. And
And
if he's
even
God, he
if
should be able to help them who write the story after to give them a clear cut message and clear cut remembrance of what he exactly said. But we see contradictions in the
in the text.
Gospels, in
Now, still,
the Gospels.
Phil,
Yes,
even if Jesus did say something, you realize he wasn't talking to you and me, Phil, right?
you're correct.
That was not addressed to us.
No, no.
So I don't care
The
what Jesus said in your book.
correct in the
No,
and the ML.
I don't care what Jesus said in your book. Paint it in red if you like. Paint it in
And even
black.
that in painting red,
Paint
painting
it
black.
in blue. Doesn't change anything. Your Jesus was not talking to me. He
Correct.
wasn't even he wasn't talking to anyone who's alive
Like,
today.
no, correct.
So
It's just the great MLM person
MLM,
beside,
exactly.
yeah,
Jesus' words
and
in
set the
red.
path.
As if that's
the
supposed to mean anything.
Paul, the great MLM person. And even his he will have, as we will see, he will have probably known about Jesus at the time because the apostles were alive, and when Stephen was stoned,
Yeah.
yeah, Paul was there as Saul. So it's very likely, as a young child, he will have heard about these stories of Jesus and thing. But
Yeah.
when Paul writes, he does not write anything
About
about
Jesus'
Jesus in
miracle.
Gospels, and he's the first writer in
Mhm.
Christianity, first Christian thing.
Writer.
The Gospels came later. So it's surprising that if the
Wait, wait,
Jesus's
wait.
life and
No, no,
work,
no, no. No, Phil, stop, 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 stop.
Uh-huh.
Wait, you're telling me Paul's book, who didn't see Jesus,
You're
the
right.
one who didn't have a personal experience with Jesus, his
My
books
personal
came first
experience. Yeah,
before the before
before
the
the
Gospels?
Gospels.
Come on,
Yeah.
Phil. Come on, stop. Don't say
And,
that.
and you realize he never wrote about the life of Jesus, the exact life, if
He
it was
didn't.
so important.
He didn't write
No, he
anything about
just
Jesus.
talked about resurrection. He just said resurrection, but he didn't talk specifically about the actual resurrection story. He didn't
Oh,
describe or what Jesus, the miracles that Jesus did.
so Phil,
So,
hang on. If the Gospels came after Paul started writing his own books,
mm-hmm.
could the Gospels have been written to try and fit a narrative?
Yeah,
I give
yeah,
up.
yeah.
I give up. I'm
I tell
done.
you, Christianity is the biggest grift,
The biggest scam.
the biggest scam,
I,
and has existed for years. And you know, some Christians will want to point to that and say, "Oh, it survived. Other religions didn't survive, but Christianity survived." Christianity has only been quote unquote around for 2,000 years. Hinduism has been around much longer.
longer.
There are
Yes.
other religions that have been much longer.
Okay,
So, but
Crimson.
people, some Christians I know try to use that argument to say, "Oh, this is valid."
Yeah. Oh well.
It is a poor, very poor argument. I think even G-Man tried using that argument too.
You know, when it comes to the Bible and G-Man, just don't. G-Man doesn't understand the Bible. He just doesn't
No,
understand it.
he has not a clue.
No, he
He
hasn't
has
got
not
a
a clue.
clue.
He's pretend he
Yeah,
does, but
he
he
hasn't got
has
a clue.
not a clue.
No,
Mm-mm,
not at all. Not
not
at
at
all.
all. Jeez.
Well,
But you
Phil.
see, the thing is, before you close off, you see, the thing is that, and we realize, I mean, at one point, I would have done that as a young, when I was a young Christian at the time,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
doing the same, trying to make things fit, contortions, and so on, until you realize, but wait, some of these things just make really questioning and adding up. Just ain't adding up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Oh well, Phil.
yeah,
Tomorrow I've got a trip to I've got to go to Leicester tomorrow. So
okay, cool.
got to wake up early for that. So I need
Uh,
to go get some shots. I'm
Sam
tired
shot,
already.
yeah, yeah,
Yes. But this has been good. Stay away from religion.
yeah,
All
stay
forms
away.
of it. All
Yeah,
forms of it. Stay
all
away.
forms.
All forms of it. You can live
Mm-hmm.
a fulfilling,
New
happy
life.
life
Yeah,
without religion.
oh yeah.
Religion, however good what they're offering,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Big
nothing they
scam.
offer you they don't take back from you and more.
Lit. Yeah,
They offer you love on the one hand and threaten you on the other hand.
got the hand. Yeah.
Jesus loves you, but he created hellfire, is ready to punish you
Mm-hmm.
for all of eternity if you don't receive his love. No, just
Yeah.
keep your love. Keep it.
You know.
No, keep it. Mm-mm-mm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right, guys, everyone, thank you very much. Jesus, I've been here more than 3 hours. Oh boy, I can talk.
Ooh.
My goodness.
When it comes to Christianity, there's a lot to unpack. So
I know. And it just never ends. It
it
just
never
never
ends.
ends.
Never ends. Never
You think
ends.
you think after I've been here more than 3 hours tomorrow, if I sit in front of here, I could go on and on and on about this subject, but never mind. Become a talkative now. All right, guys, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up, please, on your way out.
Yeah.
And I'll see you all. I won't be here tomorrow. I'll be in Leicester, hopefully having a good time. But
Yep.
I will see you all. Oh, guys, I've said on Sunday I've got a conversation with Dr. Ty. Oh, it's going to be great. Go and have a look at the check him out. He's I put the link to his channel in the you know what? Let me see if I can find the link to his channel. He's coming. He's going to come and talk about living Christianity, his deconversion story, how he's living life as an atheist. This is a doctor of Phil, help me again. What's doctor of what? What was he again?
But in biochemistry.
A doctor of biochemistry. Oh, very clever people.
And I think he's a laboratory manager too.
He's the manager of the laboratory.
Laboratory at research, I think it's a research place.
Oh yes, he is coming.
Nice,
he's coming to have a chat with us on
along my
Sunday.
lines. Yep, along my
To have a
science
chat
line.
with us on Sunday. Right, I found his channel. He's so good at what he does. He goes out and talking to people. He does street epistemology. Yeah, let me get a link to his channel so you can guys subscribe, or you can go and watch videos if you're interested. So clever clogs. We're not as clever. Well, I'm not as Phil. Well, you're a science teacher, so you're clever too.
You're clever too.
Oh please!
You're on there. You are clever and intelligent. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Patronize me, Phil. Yeah.
No, it's the truth. I speak the facts. I give you facts. Evidence.
All right, everyone. Good night. From G-Man to Brilliance. What's the channel? Oh my, beach. We like to switch it up around here.
Yeah.
And I think if we go to Dr. Ty, listen, it's not way we can come down from that. We have to try and go higher.
Yeah.
Maybe we're going to look for Aaron Ra or Matt Dillahunty or somebody.
Oh gosh.
All right, everyone. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Do you have a moment? And this very second, I know you feel the beat. Do you feel the rhythm all the way? Can you see the vision? Everything in this world will be okay. Can we be together all the way? I know you feel this movement right here. You just be vibing, reaching for something within you. I know you feel this movement right here. You just be vibing, reaching for something within you. Now yeah.